We are having a massive session today with a massive student count. And students, now we have Chamat sir at the studio, Chalana sir at the studio, and Vipula sir also joining online. So all the 4 lecturers at corporate level and also, 3 lecturers at strategic level also there from the new syllabus. Only the missing part is the tax. But we have Chalana sir, who will also probably be representing in strategic level for the legal side in final level. Now, students, we have waited for this syllabus change. Anyway, we received, I think we expected by, let's say, January, but at least we received in February. So now you have a understanding at the moment. I hope you are having a basic understanding. Now, this session is not to give you the basic understanding. Why? Because we have already done it, right? We have published a summary in our social media, right? And I have done a single medium video through the YouTube. So you are having kind of a basic understanding. So that's the reason why we mentioned this session as for corporate and strategic level. But anyway, we are touching somewhat from the business level, right? And we will be going to the deep understanding, right? So what are the changes and what you need to do in this particular examination, June exam, and what you have to do in the December examination, new syllabus. What are the disadvantages, advantages if you select this subject, right? And if you do this subject at this moment, what would be the advantage? So these are the things we are going to discuss, right? Anyway, you can ask all the questions. I know you have so many questions. So you will ask these questions, but please wait till we are done with the initial discussion. So after that, you can ask questions, right? So student, basically this, syllabus change. So they are highlighting the chartered accountant as this, okay? Trusted, right? Strategic, storyteller. So which means the output, right? May process again an output taker. The chartered accountant output is what? The trusted strategic storyteller. Trusted means, so you will be trusted to the industry. ඔයාව දැක්කම chartered accountant කෙනෙක් කියන්නේ trusted කෙනෙක්. දැනුත් trusted තමයි. Right? මේක ඇත්තටම පොඩ්ඩක් වෙනස් වෙලා තියෙන්නේ මේ storyteller කියන එක. දැනුත් trusted. But to have a trust, you have to have knowledge. Right? ඔයාට knowledge එක නැත්තම් ඔයාව trust කරන්න බෑනේ. You have to have the knowledge and you should have ethical principles. Then the strategic. So strategic කියන එක change වෙලා තියෙනවා. Strategic perspective change. Why? So this syllabus is more into the future. You are having all these new concepts. Maybe the new concepts that are not operating in Sri Lanka also there. Why? Maybe in this period, right? 2025 to 30. Maybe that can come to Sri Lanka. Maybe 2028 වගේ ලංකාවට එන්න පුළුවන් developments මේකේ තියෙනවා. Why? Because you have to learn them. Right? ඔයා 26 වල qualified වෙන්න පුළුවන්. But maybe when you are working, you have to have this knowledge, right? So that's the reason why strategic part is there and the storyteller. So this is the significant part. This is a newest addition. Storytelling is basically covering from the capstone, right? So storytelling means mostly the chartered accountants. So previous years, if you compare, so the lacking part was we were not able to deliver, right? Communicate the finance, let's say, perspective to maybe non-financial people, right? Again, කියන්නේ ඔයාලගේ මේ communication හරි නැහැ කියන එක නෙවෙයි, English හරි නැහැ කියන එක නෙවෙයි, but how to deliver, how to explain this to someone, right? And that will be a significant part of this syllabus as well. So this is the reason why, so they have highlighted like this, right? So students, I will give you a, basic understanding on this one before going to the detail, right? So you know this one. මම මේක ගැන ගොඩක් කියන්නේ. So you know there are 3 levels: business level, corporate level, strategic level, right? And each level you have 4 subjects, right? Okay, so you are sending questions, but sorry to tell that At the moment, we cannot read the questions, but after these discussions, we will read your questions and answer, right? So first level, you have 4 core subjects, core modules. Okay, you have accounting subject, management accounting subject, auditing subject, and business fundamentals means environment and eco, then tax and law. Then once you are done with that, you have the capstone subject, business capstone. Okay, so once you complete all these 5, you can go to this one. Make sure now you cannot do pillar wise. At the moment, it's not mentioned because anyway you cannot do the pillar wise. Why? To do the capstone, you have to complete all these 4. So once you do the capstone only, you can go to this one, right? And the corporate level students, you have 4 subjects which are, I mean, similar from the names, but content would be different. I mean, you have a matching subject, right? මේ දැන් තියෙන එකට matching subject එකක් තියෙනවා. ඒක තමයි corporate ළමයට තියෙන ලොකුම සහනය. Right? ඔයා මේ එකක් කරොත් අනිවාර්ය එකක් රිලීස් වෙනවා. Okay? So you have corporate financial reporting, advanced management accounting and finance. අලුතෙන් කැලලක් වැඩ වෙලා තියෙනවා. Right? And so this is corporate reporting, previously financial reporting and governance. Now corporate financial reporting, right? Now risk governance and audit, previously advanced audit and assurance, some risk part added, but anyway it's auditing subject. Then corporate law and taxation. So previously corporate law, now you have taxation. 55% law, 45% taxation, right? Then the corporate capstone is there. So you have to complete all these 4, then complete the corporate capstone. So once you complete the corporate capstone only, you can go to the strategic level. So strategic level, advanced corporate reporting is there. So you don't have auditing now in this particular subject. So currently you are having advanced business reporting, which Samat sir and Vipul sir is combinedly teaching. Okay, there will be a change of the combinations as well, probably in the strategic level. And now that this is advanced corporate reporting, you have some added value added areas. Chamat sir will explain. Then the strategic finance and management accounting. Previously, this is corporate finance and risk management. And I would say as a subject, right? Samahara subject completely alu subject එකක් add වෙලා තියෙනවා. But I'm telling as a subject, right? ඔයාට existing subject එකක් අලුතෙන් තිබුණා නම් new syllabus එකේ එනවා නම් existing subject එකක් විදියට as a subject, this is the subject which change the highest percentage, right? Because the forex part is not there now in this subject, gone to another one, and more management accounting also added around 30 to 35%. So CFRM change as SFMA. Okay, then the third one, you have an option. You can do advanced audit and professional practice, more onto the pure auditing, and you have advanced risk management and corporate governance. That's also auditing, but you have the risk management part, and that forex part, financial risk management is there. So probably Vipul sir and myself will do this subject, right? Okay, and strategic tax planning you have, but having said that, you have around 20 to 25% legal regulation aspect on this subject. So once you do this one, same like the case study, you have a strategic capstone, but the reason is the assignment part is not there. You have a pitching, physical pitching here, but we will discuss this more. So this is the curriculum overall, right? And before going for this one, I would like to ask maybe like to give 2 to 3 minutes time for like Vipul sir and Chamat sir. Maybe I will ask Vipul sir to speak first, then Chamat sir, and then he can go to the pillar wise. Vipul sir, I hope you are there. Right, yes. So I'm just asking now, this is a syllabus change. Before going to the detailed discussions, maybe I hope you can add some value. Now students are maybe බය වෙලා ඉන්නේ මේ වෙලාවේ scared නේ. මොකද්ද කරන්න ඕනේ? As a overall advice. So අපිට විපුල සර්ගෙන් අහන්න පුළුවන්. විපුල සර්.
Right, thank you Ashan sir. So very good afternoon to all my dear students. Sorry. So basically, so a big change has coming in, and we will discuss the one by one with the pillar wise now, and we will get clarify all your issues, whatever the extent that we can based on the information issued by CA Sri Lanka up to now. but there will be some communication during the next 2 weeks time as well. So based on the information available as of now, we will clarify all your questions today. Before moving into the, I would say, pillar wise, I just want to emphasize one important thing, student. You all are going to be chartered accountant. We all of us know what is our dream of BMICH, of becoming a chartered accountant. So that is the journey we are in. So you are in now in between. Ganga method in corporate strategy. So you are in between of the river. You can't turn back. So you have to complete this somehow. So therefore, this one of the critical, you are in one of the critical junction. So it's really, really important for you all to take a very strong message to the head at the beginning, right? World is not changing according to our convenience or our passion or our wish. We have to change, or we have to have agility skill to change into the global or world changing requirements, right? If you don't fix that in your mind now, so it will be so hard or so difficult for you to adjust into this change. Right now, I'll tell you an example, students. Soon after the syllabus was launched in last Thursday, so myself, Tamat sir, and all Chalana sir, Ashan sir, everyone, we were discussing. Then when I came back home, and I didn't sleep till 3 o'clock in the morning, and I was thinking, what is this content, and what are the changes? What about the why this year Sri Lanka is launching all these new principles? I was thinking and changing my mindset. My mindset, this is what is needed to a 2030 chartered accountant. You cannot be a 2025 chartered accountant. You are going to be a 2030 chartered accountant in that era. So you need this one, right? So you need this one. So therefore, students, really, really important at the beginning to change your mind that strongly. You are going to be a chartered accountant for 2025 and 2030. Sri Lanka cannot do the changes as you wished. So Sri Lanka has to do the changes what is needed by the global market, where you will be working in the next 5 years or 10 years or 20 years or 30 years time. So therefore, change is started. Should be started from your mind. So while you set that mindset, okay, everything, okay, I have to change according to the global requirement. Thereafter, all these minor transitional adjustment, all those content, everything we can discuss, student. But I want everyone of those who are joining 1,000 students here and as well as in the YouTube. So first of all, set your mind that so we need to change accordingly. Sri Lanka has given us the vision for 2030. Let's agile or let's change according to that vision and get adjust our studies accordingly, right? With that mindset, we'll go to the one by one pillars and let us explain what are the key changes and what will happen and what should do, what should not do, and everything. We will explain. I'll tell you a small student. There are students who are not ready to changes, right? And every organization, if you look at every organization, so when we are trying to implement certain new things, certain global requirement, technology, AI, or whatever, there are about 10-20% of people who are not ready to change. They would like to continue the same practices what they have been doing. So that is the disaster of that organization. So similarly, so you can't do in the professional studies like that. You have to change it every 5 years to cater into the global requirement, right? So Ashansa will take it up one by one in the pillars, and I will explain the auditing pillar later. Ashansa?
Right. People sir, so thank you for your advices, right? Anyway, we have to move now to Chamat sir. Now I will ask Chamat sir first to, tell something about this syllabus change and then start on the financial accounting and reporting pillar and also go through detail, right? What has changed and what you have to do. So Chamat sir is there in the studio. So Chamat sir will take over.
Okay, students, hope you all can hear me and see me clearly. Can someone type and tell me whether you can hear me clearly? Right, superb. Okay. Syllabus change. Syllabus change. Are you worrying or are you happy? I don't know. Why we are afraid when we are saying a change? Change එකක් ගොඩක් අය බය. Because with a change, there's a challenge, right? Or there are some challenges, not even a single challenge. There are a lot of challenges. With a change, of course, there are a lot of challenges, right? So with the syllabus change itself, you have to face some challenges as students. Of course, you see that is the biggest challenge in your side. But as lecturers, we also have to face some challenges, and not enough to mention those two things. We have to mention about the institute side as well. Institute itself facing some challenges. So challenge is inevitable when it's come to change, right? Syllabus change එකක් කියනකොට දරුවෝ challenge එකක් එන එක හැමෝටම වළක්වන්න බෑ. So as Vipula sir correctly mentioned, this is a change, right? So when it's come to there's a change management, there's a subject called change management. Maybe those things are embedded to the CA curriculum as well in the Hashan circular. In future you will learn. When it's come to change management, there are some people who go with the change and they are willing to do the change. And there are some people who don't want to go with that particular change, right? So those who want to go with the change, they will achieve your dreams, they will success in terms of their dreams or whatever the things, right? So, but those who don't want to go with the change, they will go away from whatever the dreams or whatever the path, right? So change එකත් එක්ක යන මිනිස්සු ඉස්සරහට යයි. ඒ තමන්ට අවශ්‍ය සිහින සැබෑ කරගනි. change එකත් එක්ක යන්නේ නැති කට්ටිය මේකෙන් එළියට විසි වෙයි. ඒකට ඒක තමයි ප්‍රධානම දේ, right? So students, in my life, right, as a student and as a lecturer, I have seen 4 syllabus changes starting from 2010, 15, 20 and 2025, right? 4 syllabus change, right? May syllabus change hatarema. When it's come to all these 4 changes, there were some challenges, and we can't say that every syllabus change is very benefited to the students, right? There may be some plus points, there may be some minus points, but if you take as a whole the entire picture, the current syllabus, I see it very positively, right? If someone asks me, Chamas sir, tell me what's your opinion? I can remember even after the syllabus launch, some of the council members and even the one who has developed the doctor who has developed the syllabus approached to us and asked, what is your overall comment on the syllabus? So what I said was like, it is very good and very much future oriented kind of a syllabus. So if you go to the book, the curriculum book that CA has provided to you, you can see they have highlighted 3 core promises. Ashan sir also mentioned 3 core promises in the syllabus, right? So the first one is actually the trusted in the sense, if I come to my particular pillar, everything I will describe it later, you have to have a good sort of technical and other required knowledge, right? So to do whatever the things, to perform as a counter, you have to knowledge, you have to have the technical aspects, right? So trusted. So more or less, I would say the current syllabus is highly focusing on this trusted part, the knowledge building part, right? But now this new syllabus going beyond that, and they have incorporated another 2 things in a different kind of extent, which is strategic and a storyteller. Strategic and storyteller. When it's come to strategic, they think about the future, how the digitalization will impact to our profession, how the technology will change our behaviors as accountants, right? And how the sustainability, one of the major discussing area, the climate change sustainability, and how it is going to impact to financial reporting, management accounting, and there are some legal aspects as well, right? So all those things they have embedded to this particular syllabus under the strategic promise and storyteller, right? That is one of the lagging part when it's come to accountants is storytelling, right? So if you go to the board of directors and if you are delivering some sort of a monthly financials, just say, right? So you can say the variance is like and variance is like that. But storytelling is a different ability that you have to develop, because that is what required to go in terms of climb in terms of your professional ladder. So that also brings in the storyteller that particular promise the syllabus is going to develop your skills, right? So that is how they have enhanced this particular syllabus. So when it's come to those two aspects specifically, you have to face a lot of challenges when you are learning, when you are doing, and we are sitting the exam and everything. You have to face a lot of challenges. Even lecturers, it is our responsibility to make you aware or enrich these things as well, and that is challenge to us of as well, right? So here, and one thing that I want to tell you at the very beginning before moving to the financial accounting pillar, the first thing is don't afraid, student. Change is just a part of your life, right? So don't afraid. So why? What you have to do is you have to keep your heads up and you have to look very carefully and you have to adapt the change accordingly. Then you can do this without any issue. But the thing is, since we have one more exam before the syllabus change, better to cover the maximum subject, because at the moment the subjects are well aware in terms of the learning, syllabus content, as well as past papers and everything. But immediately after the syllabus change, you have to go to the first exam without seeing a past paper, and you don't know, even we don't know what are the things that they are going to test it under the new aspects and how they are going to test it, right? So more or less, those who are sitting exam on 2025 December would be like test monkeys. Ar පරීක්ෂණාගාර වඳුරු ඉන්නේ, පරීක්ෂණාගාර මීයෝ ඉන්නේ වගේ. Even not only you, we also have to have some sort of a very open mind when it's come to December exam. So that is why the December exam will be somewhat challenging. So if you are doing any subject, let's say if you are doing one subject, two subject, try to increase the subjects and try to cover up more subject as much as possible now, right? So that is the general things that I want to tell you. So we will go to the financial reporting pillar. Financial reporting pillar. So as Hashan sir clearly mentioned earlier, so basically student, same as the last time, 3 levels, right? Business level, corporate and strategic level. The level name remains as it is. And if you go forward, you can see, right, the subjects also, right? Subject also, you have 3 subjects. So I will go to the next slide actually, right? No. So we'll keep on this slide, right? So you can see the business level, fundamentals of financial reporting. And then the corporate level, you have the corporate financial reporting, and the strategic level, you have advanced corporate reporting. So if you think about the current names of the subject, starting from the business level, I don't want to take a lot of time to the business level, right? Fundamentals of financial reporting. Financial reporting. Earlier it was mentioned as financial accounting, but now this goes beyond that. It is mentioned as financial reporting, right? So the scope has, I would say, drastically changed when it's come to this particular 2 words, financial accounting to financial reporting. I will tell in detail when it's come to the detailed syllabus composition how it is going to change, right? Then the corporate level, now we have the FRG, or financial reporting and governance, FRG. But now this is corporate financial reporting. The governance part moved out, and now Vipula sir will be taken care of the governance part. But anyway, still in this particular subject, the small component of the corporate governance is there, very little component. The board of directors' responsibility over the financial statement, that is still there. But other than that, the governance part completely moved and handed over to the Vipula sir. These subjects remain as corporate financial reporting, right? Corporate word comes in, corporate, right? So when it's come to corporate, what are the things that they have going to change and everything, I will describe in subsequent slide. And this one, the strategic level, SL1, most of the time students are considering this is the hurdle of CA journey at the moment, SL1. ABR, Advanced Business Reporting subject. Now, the advanced word remains as it is, but business reporting or change to corporate reporting. The more importantly, the biggest change is here, the strategic level, because at the moment, you know, this particular subject, 55% is the financial reporting, 45% auditing, 45% auditing, and it is not just pure auditing, corporate governance, ethics, and non-financial reporting, all are there. the auditing part, let's say the pure auditing part and the corporate governance and the ethics part has removed from this particular subject, and again it was handed over to Vipul sir, right? So going forward from, as Hashan sir correctly mentioned, next December onwards, you can't see myself and Vipula sir is doing this particular SL1 subject together, and only I will be doing this SL1 subject, and I am missing Vipula sir as well as a combination, and I will hand over Vipula sir to Hashan sir, and they will take care of a different subject, because one of the component, the significant component of this particular SL1 subject has removed and handed over to SL3, the new subject, right? But here it doesn't say this subject is going to be easy. Some of the new things are coming in instead of that 45% part, which is moving out of the syllabus, right? Okay, going into detail, if you think about the financial reporting, if you discuss about the financial reporting pillar as a whole, what are the things that they have brought in, right? I can see the three major knowledge components that they have brought into this particular financial reporting pillar, which was not there in the previous curriculum into that extent, right? The first one is the technology and digitalization aspect in financial reporting. So now, even starting from BL1, instead of CL2, then CL1, right? CL1 and the SL1 all are having some technology and digitalization component. Use of AI, right? Digitalization in maybe inventory management system, financial reporting system, data capturing system, annual report preparation, right? And there are some new concepts brought in terms of digitalization, or let's say use of technology, right? Use of technology in financial reporting and corporate reporting, right? So now I have used different word, financial reporting and corporate reporting. Don't worry, I will describe it again when it's come to the detailed syllabus composition, right? So anyway, the technology component brought in. And the second thing, the sustainability. The sustainability, one of the major area and major discussing area in the global as well, as you all aware. Earlier, International Accounting Standard Board was there to produce the financial reporting standard. Now ISSB, International Sustainability Standard Board, is now started producing the non-financial reporting, or let's say sustainability reporting standard. And those standards and other sustainability reporting aspect, GRI, maybe TCFD recommend, there are a lot of things brought in at a different syllabus composition. And now, as you all know, earlier, the business level, you didn't have any non-financial reporting. Corporate level you had, but it was only limited to MCQ in the FRG paper. And strategic level also you had sustainability reporting, but not more than 5 marks. And that also testing here and there. But now, going forward, this part is going to be a definite part coming to the exam. Sustainability reporting going to be a definite part coming to the exam, and you can't skip this particular learning modules, sustainability reporting. And the next one is basically the contemporary topics and developments in financial reporting, which covers almost all the latest things, right? So far in your syllabus, you only had the accounting standard. But now, under this particular thing, the exposure draft, as you all know, when you are developing accounting standard, there are some steps. First, the agenda paper comes, discussion paper comes, then the exposure draft. Exposure draft means basically the accounting standards not yet published, but going to publish in near future. What test karanne yanawa lamai exposure draft. That is one of the biggest thing included in this particular syllabus, right? Especially when it's come to strategic level, the exposure draft knowledge also going to be tested, right? This is something that brought in instead of the part removing, so the auditing, right? Auditing වලට අයින් වෙන එකට වෙනුවට දාපු part එකක් තමයි මේක, right? Going to the business level, just to give you, I don't want to take, anyway, we are doing some another sessions to give some sort of a detailed introduction and the understanding about the areas and everything. So it's starting from the BL1, financial accounting, as I have mentioned, it was changed to the fundamentals of financial reporting, right? More or less what is happening is like a student, you can see the syllabus compositions, right? But I want to highlight these last 3 compositions: financial analysis of financial statement, sustainability and reporting, and digitalization. Those are the 3 things that they have brought in, right? So when it's come to knowledge area, some of the regulatory framework, governance, ethics, professional ethics, and the SME, small and medium enterprise, also brought in. Sustainability reporting also brought in, digitalization also brought in, and the partnership accounts, right? Partnership account, the way they are testing, and they have reduced it to the scope, and you only have required to have some sort of a basic understanding about the partnership account. Other than that, the major components of the partnership account removed, right? And non-profit oriented organizations and all those things will not be tested in the business level, right? Corporate level, if I go to the corporate level also student, FRG subject, CL2, now it's going to become CL1. In FRG subject, mainly the sustainability will be tested at a different pace, and technology also will be tested as a different pace. Other than that, the biggest change happens in consolidation. In your consolidation, so far in the financial reporting and governance paper, you have the basic consolidation, but now it going beyond that, and they have added more complex consolidation part, specifically some acquisitions and disposals and consolidation cash flow, right, also going to be tested in the CL1 paper. So in terms of the consolidation, they have added some more things. Other than that, I can't say, other than the corporate governance also at the different space, there are no major changes in the CL2 paper. And the SL1, as I mentioned earlier as well, the evaluating risk of material misstatement. So this part or the auditing part will be moved out. For that, sustainability, technology, and the exposure draft will be coming in, right? So those are the changes. So I am not taking that much of time in terms to go through these in detail. So anyway, the paper structure and everything we will be discussing separately. So the corporate level and the strategic level, CL1 and SL1 subject would be open book subject. You can carry some of the open books to the exams, but don't refer the curriculum given at the moment, because some of the open books they have messed up. We have already informed me to CA, because some of the IFRIC book and SIC book is not under recommended publications of the financial reporting. On those things will be amended and published to you later. But anyway, the paper structure also going to be different. Now you have elective subjects and everything, right? So those things we will keep as a separate part. And this is the change that I want to communicate at the beginning to the financial reporting pillar. And next, I think Hashan sir will take up to describe the management accounting, the pillar changes. Hashan sir, over to you.
Right. Okay, so we are seeing some messages, so please wait till we are done with the pillars, right? So students, so as I mentioned in the, the second slide, so we are having 3 subjects in each business, corporate and strategic level, right? So let's address your questions after done with the discussions, right? I see a lot of big, long questions. So students, you are having 3 subjects: business level, management accounting; corporate level, advanced management accounting and finance; final level, strategic finance and management accounting. So I am having the curriculum, the hard copy, right? So we have printed in books also. So students, so first level I'm not going to really explain, but the basic additions in the business level is that the activity based costing of the corporate level, current advanced management accounting shifted to business level, right? 100% shifted to business level. And also maybe some relief for corporate level student, linear programming, the limiting factor decision making, and the simplex method, that's moved to business level. So if someone is completing business level, you can completely avoid this. Why? Because if you complete the business level, so you won't face the limiting factor, linear programming and simplex method in the corporate level. But it's a huge challenge for me even to teach the linear programming and simplex method for just after A-level students. But anyway, I will do that. I'm comfortable, I'm confident with that. But so that's also one of the biggest change. And also short-term decision making, moved to business level. Whatever the outsourcing, right, accept or reject decisions, so those moved to business level. And from the business level, the investment appraisal completely removed. So which means the let's say focus and the priority for the investment appraisal in corporate level is huge. So that's the reason why they put the word advanced management accounting and finance. So if they are not going to ask a question from investment appraisal, the subject name should change. Why? The finance part should be there. So which means we can expect investment appraisal question. It's a definite question in this advanced management accounting and finance paper. So those are the basic changes, and also there are like Power BI basic concepts in business level and sustainability related data analytics, right? Now sustainability is there in Chamatsa for the financial reporting. But student, it's not only the financial reporting, but you are having sustainability in many other pillars as well. Now anyway, so corporate level and the strategic level is your interested one, right? So the corporate level, this is the weightages, right? But I'm not going to explain through that. But let me tell you the differences, right? So once you hear the differences, you will feel okay, better you complete this by June. This is our advice also. The syllabus is changed. You try to complete as much as subjects in June 2025, right? So when you are coming to the advanced management accounting students, so there are data related developments, huge data related developments like big data analytics. Data analytics are there because we are always talking. Data analytics, big data, right? Now let's say you are following a management degree, but maybe you don't have the data knowledge. Definitely you will be able to get from this, right? And also like AI, blockchain, management accounting processes are there, and as I mentioned, sustainability related management accounting being added. And also when you are coming to the standard costing and variance analysis students, now the previous syllabus, whatever the current syllabus till 2025 June not included the market share and the market size variance, but this is there in ACCA performance management, because I'm teaching this even for my ACCA students, not a new thing for me. That should have been added even this syllabus, but now it will be introduced from the new syllabus. So when you are coming to the variance analysis, you will have that part. And also variance analysis, you have Power BI. So maybe if you are working in a mercantile sector, you know what is Power BI. So Power BI is basically a business intelligence tool that you can use to analyze, visualize data. So whatever the data trends and all, you can visualize through the Power BI. So variances you have to visualize from the Power BI. I don't know how they are going to test it, but you should have that knowledge, right? So I'm even targeted to teach that through in a practical way, right? And also students, so some of the concepts like McDonaldization, so which is introduced by George Ritzer. So that's a 4 principal fast food restaurant concept. So that's also added, right? And also the performance management perspective, right? So this is something I'm normally teaching at the moment for ACCA. Financial and non-financial performance measures being added, right? Compared to the current one, then තියෙන එක එහෙම ලොකුවට නෑ. Investment appraisal එකක් කරොත් ඒකේ අර non-financial factors ආනෝ ඒ වගේ. But there is no separate chapter. Even in ACCA PM, you have around 20% performance management in non-financial factors, right? So that's been added, right? ඒක අලුත් එකක්. ඒක නිසා දැන් මේ වෙලාවේ ඔළුවේ තියෙන ටිකෙන් මම කියන්නේ පුළුවන් ඉක්මනට මේක කරලා දාන්න, right? අපරාධේ ආයෙ අලුතෙන් ඒවා ස්ටඩි කරන්න වුණොත්. Then the balance scorecard, let's say the focus improved, and working capital, if you look at the working capital, so they have added some new concept for the working capital as well. And the capital budgeting, which means the investment appraisals, students, investment appraisal will be a huge part of the new syllabus. So definitely you will have a question. And also sustainability in management accounting systems. So as Chamat sir informed, sustainability is there in financial reporting, but that said you cannot avoid sustainability in management accounting. So you have to look at the management accounting concepts in sustainability. Maybe not really used in Sri Lanka at the moment, right? Compared to the financial reporting, but maybe next 2 years it will be significant. So that's why you have in new syllabus. But what's my advice for the corporate level students? Please don't delay this. Why? Because you have to learn many new concepts. So if you can, please complete the subject by June 25. Then this is the biggest change as a subject, right? New subject is there, but I'm telling as a subject. The subject change this is the biggest change. Why I'm telling biggest change? So you have normally the like equity finance, debt finance, cost of capital, capital structure, investment appraisal, business valuation, you have. But students, you are having 10% from strategic performance management systems, 10%, right? So which means around 10 marks should be tested, right? And there you have MCS as a package. So like Malimi and Brown case you have. So they are having around 5 distincts to learn. And Siemens levers of control. So there are 4 levels of controls you have to learn. And you have Tesia and Otler framework. So you have to answer 5 questions based on a framework. So there are some theoretical aspects, but the application would be tested. So that's there in the new syllabus. And sustainability and strategic management accounting, 10% added to students. So you will learn many things, even the linear, circular, bioeconomy systems, right? And when you are coming to the technology-driven transformations, you have artificial intelligence, robotics, right? Blockchain, machine learning, and the impact of that to the strategic finance and the management accounting, right? So may ඔක්කොම එකතු වුණාම 30 to 35% newly added, like fintech also there. So AI tools, robotics, right? So this is basically focusing on the strategic management accounting. දැන් මේකේ auditing වලට ගත්තත් මම හිතන්නේ ටිකක් ඒ වගේ add වෙලා තියෙනවා. But this is basically the management accounting and the financial management. So which means once you are complete the corporate level, you cannot get rid from management accounting. Still, some of the management accounting concepts will go to the strategic level, right? And maybe the biggest advantage is the forex is not there, but that being said, definitely you have to learn the forex again, right? Why? Because that's in the final level other subject, unless if you complete all 4 subjects. We will discuss that later. So this is basically the change. But what is my advice? Let's say you are in business level, please complete BL6. If you are in corporate level, please complete CL3 advanced management accounting. If you are in strategic level, please complete CFRM because you have a pre-scene. Normally in my pre-scene predictions, mock papers, you will have, huge marks coming at the exam. But when the syllabus changing, you don't have a pre-scene. The real time case studies you have to read at the exam, you have to answer. So which means whatever the remaining at your level, my advice is try it, complete it, do that, right? So that's the management accounting and finance pillar. And I will invite Vipula sir to discuss the risk controls and assurance pillar from this time onwards.
Right, students. So give me about 15 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes. So I need your clear concentration. I know that the lot of students don't have a patient mind to listen to these changes. Or even I can see the numbers. Some students are leaving because they're in a hurry that they want to know everything. See, students, now the syllabus has developed about more than 1 year by so many experts. But you want to know everything within very short period of 5 or 10 minutes time? It is impossible, right? So first of all, you need to have a patient mind and get an understanding what is the new syllabus, and then get other transitional arrangement, gather all information, apply into your situation, your application, and make the best decision in order to achieve our dream. So finally, you want to become a chartered accountant. So probably 2025 is much better. Or let us by 2026, you should be a chartered accountant. You should go to the BMICH as a BMICH dream. So that dream will not change even the new syllabus comes in. So you have to keep dreaming, or you have to fix your dreaming. But accordingly, way of achieving the dream will have to slightly change now based on the new syllabus, right? Student, as far as the risk control and assurance pillar, okay, risk control, assurance, audit, in simply we call auditing pillar. All right. So auditing pillar is one of the core pillar in any CA examination in the world. If you look at in ICW, if you look at even CA India, CA Pakistan, or even ACCA, if you look at the auditing pillar is there because that is one of the core competence that need to be with the chartered accountant. Either you are going to work in a mercantile sector as an accountant in business, or either you are going to work in a practicing sector like me in an audit firm, right? So whatever the job that you are going to do as a chartered accountant in future, the auditing principles are needed. So therefore, that has become one of the core principle, core pillar in any curriculum of a CA journey or even ACC or whatever the other professional exam, right? So when you look at students now, earlier we had two co-auditing subjects, right? That has been changed into the three co-auditing subject. Students, now I did my examination in 2010 to 15 syllabus. At that time, and 2000, then 2015-20 syllabus came, 20 to 25 syllabus came. So up to 2020, we had about three auditing subjects, and 2020, with some dimension or with some certain development in the globally, certain part of the auditings were removed as a subject, and then so that were transferred with the SL1, and then later we realized that later even in all our discussions, and we also commented, a lot of other parties commented that the skills is required separately, and globally there are a lot of things have been developed. Those must be integrated to a chartered accountant's knowledge, and also the SL1 is overloaded. So with having considered all those factors, CA Sri Lanka has now decided to have a final level auditing paper. In simple way, don't get confused with the names, risk management, governance, professional practice. I will explain one by one clearly. Today, I will not be able to explain everything, but later. But today, I will give you an overview. But keep that in mind that there is a separate auditing pillar which has three subjects. So process, audit and assurance, that is at the business level. That was earlier BL5 subject. And now corporate level, we have risk, governance and audit. CL1 advanced audit and assurance, what we had. And now strategic level, we have two subjects have coming in, and one of the subjects should be selected. I will explain why the logic of these two subjects as well, student. Ashan sir, can you move to the next slide, please? Right, students, now if you look at the 2020-25 syllabus and 25-30 syllabus, so BL5 we had and the CL1 we had, and we didn't have final level separate dedicated auditing paper. So now we have a BL5 has become the same BL3, that is process, audit and assurance, and advanced audit and assurance CL1 has become the risk, governance and audit. And the final level, we have a two elective subject, students. Now, just to give you an overview, I'll come in detail later. But if you look at the BL5, but I know this session is not for business level student, that is we will have a separate session. But just to give you an understanding, BL5, I would say in my gut feeling, it is about maybe 50% similar with the previous syllabus, but there are various advanced things that have been incorporated into the business level, especially with the information technology students. See, today's world, right? Can you live with a mobile phone? Can you live without a mobile phone? You can't, right? Can you do audit without a computer? No. Don't you think, students, you can't do an audit now without an audit software, AI-based audit software, right? That is the world is moving now. But we are now still in Sri Lanka, sometimes manual working papers, and we are filling all this. And finally, you go for an interview in the global level, what happens? You don't know anything. So therefore, knowledge has been transformed into the technology-based auditing. While fundamentals remain same, the technology and the sustainability, to both principles are coming in and disturb us. So that is the biggest area that have been embedded into the auditing syllabus, students. I would say it's an addition. If I tell you, students, business level and the corporate level subject, so my prediction is more than 50% of the knowledge that you have will be, now it is outdated. 50% of new knowledge has been embedded, right? Actually, really interesting, student. Really feeling too good to study. Actually, I was thinking that next 9 months, what will be my life, right? Next 9 months is till December. It's a different life that we are going to getting in, because all these new changes and everything will have to be transformed to you all in a way that you can understand and then finally deliver the 3 hours examination paper. But still, student, that is interesting. Believe my word, it is interesting, and it will enhance your knowledge, and it will ensure that you are going to be a chartered accountant who can cater into the market, right? That with the right kind of a knowledge, right? Students, now when it comes to the second level, advanced audit assurance and the risk governance and audit, and I will explain in the next slide in detail. And also the third level, I will explain in the next slide in detail. Can you move to the next slide, please? Next one. Right, students. Now, if you really see this, our CL1 advanced audit and assurance and CL3 risk governance and audit. So, what is the similarities and what is the differences? What are the things that you should aware? Basically, students, CL1 advanced audit and assurance is labeled as one of the difficult subject. So, you know that the last 3.5 years, nobody could get even to the 70 mark. So luckily last batch, so there was a prize winner after 3.5 years, after 1,200 days in chartered history. So there was a prize coming in. So students, now if the CL1 is difficult like that, I would say the new subject is much more difficult than the CL1, because there are a lot of additional areas have been embedded while keeping the same content. So if you really see, students, here, if you really see here, the CL1 advanced audit assurance content remains same, remains same. Only one deletion is there, that is internal control. That is anybody can answer. That is from the BL5. Now the next new subject, BL3, internal control. All these new areas have been added into the syllabus while remaining the while keeping the same content of CL1. You can imagine what will happen. You can imagine what will happen the December 2025 CL1, or now new code is CL3. So going to be much challenging, and also the pass rates will further come down because of the complexities of the paper, right? So therefore, my advice, students, if anyone to pending to complete the CL1, please complete by June 2025. If not, I'm sure that you have to relearn everything. Everything you have to relearn, because everything is embedded. Sorry, with the technology. For an example, if I tell you an example, risk assessment. Audit risk assessment, students, nowadays we look at a scenario and we identify the risk. But the new syllabus says no, right? Technology-based risk assessment. How artificial intelligence is going to be used. How robotic process automation practically going to be used. Those were there in the CL1 as a theory. But now in the new CL3, those have been practically been implemented, and examination paper also, those will be tested in a different form. So that means, student, in next CL3, you have to learn, you can't look at the study text and all that. You have to do a audit with me with the technology in the class. That's it. Right, with the technology. So therefore, you got to be extra careful. If you are pending with the CL1, please complete by June somehow. And also, lot of digital transformation, enhanced digital transformation has coming in. A regulatory framework that was not there in the previous syllabus. For an example, anti-money laundering regulations. Now we are talking about the AML regulations. Then all those regulations are now coming and parked under the CL3 new subject. And also corporate governance, students. Corporate governance, it was in the CL2. Now come and park under CL3, that new CL3. The volume is getting expanded again. And the risk management, there was no topic. There was no topic called risk management previously in the CL1. Now 10%, you can see, student, risk management application is coming into the 10%. It's a massive change, right? How to identify the business risk and risk categorization, how to mitigate the risk. The nice stories are coming in for you to learn, right? And the risk management 10% additionally has coming in. And enhanced internal audit. Earlier we had only the 5% of the internal audit. Now it has become 10%. So internal audit application has wider coverage, right? And majority of you won't have an experience because you are working in either audit firm or a non-audit sector, mostly in the finance department, not in the internal audit, very limited. So therefore, you don't have a practical exposure. You have to learn the theory with what is happening in the global level, students, right? And also the IT audit, you never learn IT audit principles earlier. There are separate series of auditing standard for IT audit. I used to tell students earlier that there are some other qualification called CISA and all that. So some of those IT auditing standard, IT auditing applications are coming into the CL1. I don't know what will happen. So therefore, but we have to learn it. And the advanced audit strategy. So audit strategy is not just an audit strategy. It's an advanced audit strategy. How you can think like a partner or a senior manager or director of the audit firm. And also another thing, student, assurance for sustainability reporting. Don't come to a wrong conclusion that the sustainability reporting is something that financial reporting. That is sustainability reporting, right? But sustainability is now if you are driving a vehicle on the road, right? If you are going to the restaurant and if you are using the Zoom platform, right? Each and every task of your day-to-day activities include the sustainability practices. So therefore, sustainability reporting is under the corporate financial reporting, but sustainability practices embedded into the each and every part of the knowledge that you gather. Either it may be auditing or risk management or management accounting, law, taxation, strategic management, whatever you learn, right? Whatever you learn, sustainability practices are embodied. So therefore, every subject contains sustainability practices. Don't get confused. Sustainability practices and sustainability reporting, right? Reporting is coming under the financial reporting. And those are like additions for the key subject of CL1, new CL3, advanced audit and assurance. Only thing is the advanced word has been cut. Advanced, right? Risk governance and audit. So then you are happy that advanced wording is not there, but the content, co-auditing, 37 auditing standard, what we are learning as it is there, audit procedures and audit planning, audit reporting, assurance engagement, right? Code of ethics, everything remains as it is, right? While remaining additional areas count. But don't worry, right? Don't worry. So we will learn this subject as in a very practical manner for targeting for December 2025. But if you are pending with this subject, I recommend finish the game in this June, right? So can you move to the next slide, please? Next one. Right. Okay. So now this is, I know this is what you were expecting. But students, I will be releasing a video on auditing pillar separately of analyzing one by one in the very few more days later. But this is to give you a whole picture. Now, students, strategic level, as I told at the beginning, there was a vacuum in the auditing related knowledge. So therefore, CA Sri Lanka has filled the gap. I must appreciate CA Sri Lanka for the visionary thinking with regard to the skills that are needed for a chartered accountants for the targeting for the next 5 years or 10 years time. So this is a very good, highly appreciated point from the to the CA Sri Lanka strategy team or the consultant and the team that they have done. Right here, students. So there are vacuum and also there is a multiple concerns. So now, more than 70% of our auditing our trainees are people who are going to the internship training. More than 70-75% are working in the audit sector, right? So they need to have the auditing knowledge and they have that as well also. But even though 70-75% trained at the audit firm, when it comes to application, so majority will go and work in the mercantile sector. So there is a matching is knowledge gap is there. So that must be filled. And accordingly, Sri Lanka has come up with a nice proposal that, okay, we'll give you both subjects. Advanced audit and professional practice, that is students co-auditing, right? 100% auditing. It is the extension version of CL1. CL1 එක extension version, extended version එක තමයි SL3 එකේ one subject කියලා කියන්නේ. It's a purely auditing. You can see regulatory compliance and the legal framework, all these anti-money laundering, all these regulations, assurance in business, pure auditing, internal audit is connected to the auditing, risk management 10% minor area, corporate governance 10%, and ethics of accounting in practice, all are connected to the external auditors, right? And this subject is not only, this is mandatory for if you want to get a practicing certificate. But it is not only for the student who are going to get the practicing certificate, anybody can do. Say at the CL1 at the corporate level completed the new syllabus, you can select either one subject or two subjects. One only you have to pass. One subject you have to pass. But when you are passing one, you can select what you want based on what you prefer, right? Time and money is wasted, so you have to select one properly. So therefore, this is auditing subject. Other one is, I would say, audit connected subject, not only auditing. There are other principles which are needed for a chartered accountant. So especially to the risk management, you can see the content, regulatory compliance and the legal framework remain same. Here 15%, here 10%, similar content. And assurance in business is not here. And internally 10% here is 20%. There is a similarities. There are about 40, around 40%, I would say, students, around 35 common areas are there. And then risk management 10%, here 45%, and corporate governance 10%, here 15%, ethics 10%, and 10%. You can see the similarities also there. I would say, in my gut feeling, students, up to now, around 50%, 40 to 50% common knowledge for both. Common knowledge for both. But you can't match one by one. Now, 50% common knowledge, 50% specialized, 150% specialized into the audit firm practice, 150% specialized into the business organization, corporate world, like governance, risk management, right? Internal audit. So it's a good, actually, it's a real knowledge pool, student, right? So I'm not going to take too much of time, right? So now, students, if you really see at the summary, right? And this is going to be very challenging, right? Challenge start from me, right? Because I'll be your lecturer for this, mostly for this subject, and I'll explain this also. One area is there for FM Forex also. So it's a challenging for us. What challenging? No past papers, no study text up to now. I don't know when it will come. So probably Sri Lanka will give as soon as possible. No study guide, no comparable full papers like this in the world, right? No knowledge pool for you all to get a very clear-cut knowledge. No revision kit, no question, nothing. So you have to work in a stretched, and you have to learn this experience and somehow get through the examination. So, but I'm ready, right? I'm ready. So you also have to ready. Now, there is a small change, student. Now, in this strategic level SL32 subject, under the advanced risk management of 45%, advanced risk management of 45%, right? Around 50% in that percentage is not given by Sri Lanka, but we have requested the Sri Lanka to specify the percentage for this. If not, we know that the students also difficult, and especially when it comes to examination, the examiner also difficult to test too. Examiner can go to entire 45% sometime. So therefore, we have requested Sri Lanka to specify Forex part. So what was done under the SL2 paper for the financial risk management for a 15% in the current syllabus? If I'm not mistaken, Nashan sir, 15% in the current syllabus, Forex. Maybe percentage I may not be correct, right? That part has come and parked under the advanced risk management second part, right? Advanced risk management has so many areas, like let's say lot of risk business identification, risk management strategies, right? Pestle, SWOT analysis, all those are there. Having said all, last area is a Forex, right? Forex is a specialized area where you need, it's a no much connection with all other areas. Forex, actually, student, you can't connect the Forex with this all other areas. I would say so. Therefore, like SL1, this subject will have to be divided, right? In order for teaching, in order for learning, in order for testing purpose. So therefore, we have made the request for the Sri Lanka. So probably that will be announced shortly. So my prediction is it will be the advanced risk management and corporate governance and auditing principle into the 75%, and 25% percentage may change. We don't know exactly. 20 to 25 also is 25 into Forex part. Forex means not just Forex. Now the advanced Forex, the global application which is connected to the risk management, it's an advanced version of the existing Forex. So probably the Hashan sir will be doing along with me on the Forex. He's expert in the Forex because he's already doing the SL2, the Forex part. So that the extended version of the Forex will be done around 25% of this subject. And this auditing subject, I will be doing purely. So 100% you will have to meet me to learn this particular subject. If you wish, if you wish, select this, or if you wish, select this. If you select this, and I'll be conducting 75% of this particular subject, and 25% Ashan sir will be doing. But remember, student, everything has changed. We have to get ready for the change, right? And we should not scared for the change, as Samat sir mentioned. Change is always giving a value addition. Change is enhancing your everything. So therefore, let's adjust into the change. And it's only a matter of one batch, right? So during this 9 months, we will try to give you a maximum outcome for the next examination, right? So that is a summary, student, that I want to tell you. And the paper test, when it comes to the paper testing, remember, both the subjects are only complex scenario based question. The press question will be 50 mark scenario, And the second part of the question, second part B of the paper will be 25 into 3 questions will be there. Out of that, 2 questions only will have to be selected. So it's a complex scenario based examination system will coming in, but we are ready. Now, students, I told you, now say, if there is a generation, if there has been a generation who are resistant for the changes, today Sri Lanka can't be in far with the 100% far with the global accounting and auditing standard. If you see, student, when we go to the foreign countries, when they come to Sri Lanka, the first question they ask is, okay, so your chartered accounting qualification, whether is it match with the ICW, match with the ACCA? So they ask in this question. Why? Because our people, if they are going to work for USA or maybe UK or wherever, Middle East or wherever, they need to have the knowledge in far, right? In Sri Lanka, we have been in much advance. If you are compared to the India students, our accounting standard and auditing standards are 100% in line with IFRS and ISA. But India is not there. So therefore, we have a much advantage. So whether we like it or not, we have to make up the changes, right? And let's take up the changes. Our team is there. So we are ready for the changes. Of course, we know that if we are ready, now say auditing, if I'm ready, so I know that you will be ready for that. If you are not ready, I will make you ready. Right, over to you, Hashan sir. So let's continue with the next. And there are so many questions with regard to the exemption of this particular subject. I will explain at the last after the law pillar or taxation pillar also listen. Over to you, Hashan sir.
Hashan is taking a little personal time, so I thought we'll let him be and I will take over, right? So good evening to everyone. Can you all tell me whether you can see me and whether you can hear me? Maava aseda peneda කියලා පොඩ්ඩක් කියනවද? Yes, right. So Hashan sir, Chamat sir and Vipula sir all explained to you how your role as a chartered accountant is going to change. And at the end of the day, as they said, and as I'm going to emphasize, you will be ended up as a storyteller, right? Firstly, before moving into the syllabus changes and how you are supposed to deal with it, I will also talk with you a little bit about the importance of becoming a storyteller. So it's about a story of a storyteller that I'm going to start with. So basically, guys, whatever the field that you are going to work in, you are supposed to be a good storyteller if you are in the mindset of becoming a successful individual in that particular field. I have seen this in almost like a decade. For almost like a decade, I have seen what happens in a court of law, because that is, as a professional, that is where I have worked, right? And in that particular area, I have identified that if you are coming to court as a witness, you are going to come and tell a story. Right? And in those countless number of courthouses, I have seen successful storytellers and I have seen failures. Why? Because if you want to become a successful storyteller, your story should not have holes. ඔයාගේ කතාවේ හිල් තියෙන්න බෑ. ඔයාගේ කතාවේ හිල් තියෙන්න බෑ. ඇයි කතාවක හිල් තියෙන්නේ? Your story would have holes if you do not know, if you do not have a proper knowledge about all the aspects that are involved in telling the correct story. If there are holes in the story, the lawyer would tackle you. Same goes with all other professions. Same thing goes with accountancy. Same thing goes with accountancy. Now, Hashan sir is back. Hashan sir, is it okay if I'm asking you, is it okay if I go ahead with a little story to tell them why it is important? අපි මෙතන technical aspects අපි කතා කරා. Technical aspects අපි කතා කරා. අපි පොඩි story එකකට යන් Hashan sir gave me the green light. So guys, basically, this is something that I've learned a long time ago. A long time ago, this is something that happened a long time ago, like 60, 70 years ago. There was a lawyer called Mr. Ukwatta Jayasundara. He was a king's counsel back in the day. So there was a case in which he appeared for a suspect of a murder, right? Murder suspect කෙනෙක්ට appear වෙනවා. එකම එක eyewitness කෙනා ඉන්නේ. අන්න අපේ storyteller.
What does he say? The storyteller says that he was fishing in the Kaluganga, in the near Kalutara Bodhiya, and whilst he was fishing, he saw a man being murdered. Right? He saw a man being murdered. Etakota, this King's Counsel, Mr. Ukwata Jayasundara, came to question him, came to cross-examine him. I will read. මම පොඩි කොටසක් ඔයගොල්ලන්ට කියන්න ප්‍රශ්න 4ක් 5ක් විතරයි ආහපු. කොහොමද ස්ටෝරි ටෙලර් කෙනෙක්ගේ තියෙන අඩුපාඩු එළියට ගත්තේ කියලා. right? මොකක්ද අහන්නේ? අහනවා ආගේ කුලය මොකක්ද කියලා. What is your caste? He says Goigama, right? And these days even Goigama people seem to take to fishing. මේ කාලේ Goigama කට්ටියත් මාළු බනවාද කියලා අහනවා. එතකොට එයා කියනවා ඔව් කියලා, right? කොච්චර කල් මාළු බනවාද? How long have you been fishing? 5 years. Or then you must have caught a lot of fish. ගොඩක් මාළු අල්ලලා ඇති නේද? He says yes. මේ දවසේ මේ මරණයවා දැක්ක දවසේ මේක විශේෂ දවසක්ද කියලා අහනවා, right? So nothing special like any other day. I came to the river, climbed the tree and was getting ready when I saw this, right? එතකොට මොකද කියන්නේ? බෞද්ධ කෙනෙක්ද කියලා අහනවා. He says yes, right? Do you go to the Kalutara Bodhi often? No, not often, but on every poe day. පොය දවසට යනවාද? එතකොට කියනවා ඔව් කියලා, right? So එතකොට පොය දවසේ හැම හොඳ බෞද්ධ කෙනෙක්ම වගේම මාළු බාන්නේ නෑ නේද කියලා අහනවා. Then he says no my lord, never, කවදාවත් නෑ කියලා. එතකොට අහනවා සාක්ෂිකාරයගෙන්, සාක්ෂිකාරයා එතකොට ඔයා මේ පොය දවසේ මාළු බාලා ලොකු පවක් නේද කරලා තියෙන්නේ කියලා. right? පොය දවසේ මාළු බාලා ලොකු පවක් නේද කරලා තියෙන්නේ කියලා. එතකොට කියනවා no sir I didn't know කියලා. right? එතකොට ආයිසරයක් අහනවා මොන જાතිය මාළු දෙදා ඇල්ලුවේ කියලා. right? මාළු ඇල්ලුවේ නෑ කියනවා. මොන જાතිය මාළුද ඔයා අල්ලන්න බලාපොරොත්තු වෙන්නේ කියලා අහනවා. උත්තරයක් දෙන්න බැරි වෙනවා. අන්තිම අවුරුදු 5 ඇතුළත ඔයා අල්ලපු මාළු ಜಾති 5ක නම් දෙන්න කියනවා උසාවියට. නමක් දෙන්න බැරි වෙනවා. සාක්ෂිකාරයා සිහි නැතුව වැටෙනවා. Why? Because he was not prepared with this story. He just came to tell how he saw the murder happening, right? Because that is his area. ඒක තමයි මම දන්නවා කියලා හිතන් ඉන්න පැත්ත, right? He came to say that, but in order to become a proper storyteller, he should know about the whole story, otherwise you will fail. So this syllabus change, Lamai, what is the change that it has done? The change that it has done is, it does not let you become an expert in one particular field without having the necessary supporting knowledge from other areas that are also relevant. ඒක ගැන තමයි මම කතා කරන්න සූදානම් වෙන්නේ. ඔන්න දැන් තමයි මේ කතාව පටන් ගන්න හදන්නේ. I am going to talk about that in respect of my pillar that is ELT. So all this time, Lamai, all this time, you know, law was something separate. Law was something separate. Law was in the perimeter of what you thought was important. Law ඉගෙන ගත්ත අමතක කරලා දැම්මා වැඩේ ඉවරයි, right? But now law has been made into an integral part. කොහොමද integral part එකක් කරනවා කියලා කියන්නේ? Integral part එකක් කරනවා කියන්නේ ළමයි මේක තියෙන core syllabus areas වලින් ගලවන්න බැරි area එකක් බවට පත් කරලා තියෙනවා, right? So I will show you one by one how that has happened. I'll show you one by one how that has happened. So we'll move into the slides, right? So basically, business level, I am not going to talk about much, but as you already know, we'll be talking about that separately. And as you already know, what we have in the business level, we used to have 13 lessons in the business level for business law. Now that has been cut down significantly. And now the syllabus weightage has been brought down to 35%. However, the portions that have been removed, some have been incorporated into the corporate level, and some have been incorporated even into the strategic level, right? I'll tell you what that is, right? So if we are going to talk about the corporate level, you know, corporate law used to be what? 100% law. 100% law. Then what happened? Then what is going to happen now? Under the new syllabus, corporate law will be 55%. Sorry, corporate law would be 55%, and 45% would be out of taxation. Does this mean that, you know, in the corporate level, you had 10 syllabus areas? Corporate level, 10 syllabus areas Sibba when it came to corporate law. Does this mean that all those 10 have been reduced The answer is yes and no. Why? Yes and no here. Now you can see here the 10 syllabus areas that were there, right? Syllabus areas 10ක් තිබ්බා. So mainly I would say this equity and debt has been removed. And what else? We have minority rights. Minority rights have been removed, and then companies limited by guarantee and overseas companies have been removed. But completely the nah. I will answer you that. So 10න් basically අයින් වෙලා තියෙන්නේ ඔන්න ඔය කියන තුන. ඉන් අමතරව ගත්තොත් guys, this is the transition of syllabus areas, right? So firstly we have the first two lessons in the current syllabus, that is features of a company and corporate personality and incorporation of a company, right? ඔය දෙකම 10% weightage තිබ්බ areas දෙකක්. They have now been merged together, and we have a lesson called legal personality and incorporation of a company, right? So ඒ තිබ්බ එක හැමම තියෙනවා. Then we had a lesson about directors, company secretary and auditors, and also another lesson for meetings, resolutions and company records. ඒක දැන් අලුතෙන් ඇවිල්ලා තියෙනවා operations and governance of companies කියලා. So all the syllabus areas that were there in the previous syllabus are still there, except for the part about auditors. It is still there. Everything is now in operations and governance of companies, right? ඕකට තමයි දාලා තියෙන්නේ. However, equity කියලා lesson එකක් අපිට තිබ්බා. equity කියන lesson එකේ තිබ්බ share types, all those things have been brought into this lesson. ඒවා ටික මේකට ගෙනල්ලා තියෙනවා, right? Then we had winding up. Winding up becomes corporate reorganization and winding up. Very important. I will address that later, a little later. Then listing lesson was there. That comes into listing and capital market regulations. So that particular lesson is there. තිබ්බ විදිහටම තියෙනවා. Then other laws adjacent to corporate law කියලා අපිට තිබ්බා. Forex Act එක ගැන කතා කරන්න සහ Land Restriction and Alienation Act එක ගැන කතා කරන්න. That goes into adjacent legal framework to corporate law, right? So basically guys, almost everything that was already there is still there. But is it worth 100%? No, it's only worth 55%? Nah, it is worth less than 55%. It is worth less than 55%. Why? Because in addition to those areas that have been brought into the syllabus, more areas are now there. මෙන්න තියෙන අලුත් areas ටික. අලුත් areas වලින් මොනවද? මම එකකට දෙකකට විතරක් කියන්නම් in detail. මොනවද කියන්නේ? Global governance stands, digital compliance tools for directors, including their role in enhancing transparency, efficiency, and regulatory adherence. So now guys, earlier in your syllabus, how to appoint a director was there, how to remove a director was there, duties of a director were there, right? But his role in enhancing transparency, efficiency, regulatory adherence, those things, were they there? No, they are new additions. They are new additions. Are they in the Companies Act? No, they are not in the Companies Act, right? What else? The role of a company secretary. ඉස්සර අපි කතා කරා මොකක් ගැනද? Company secretary is not a mere clerk කියලා කතා කරා, right? So he has administrative abilities කියලා කතා කරා. So now we are going to talk about his role in driving sustainability initiatives, corporate governance, stakeholder engagement, compliance with ESG standards, right? So these things, are they in the Companies Act? No, they are new things. Then digital submission of forms to the DROC. So if you are incorporating a new company, you know, in the Department of Registrar of Companies, you have a website. In that website, you have all the forms downloadable. Name approval should be taken online. So all those things are there. But you didn't know how to perform these operations. You just knew that form 1 was this, form 18 was this, form 19 was this. Now it is changed. Now it is changed. Now you have to know the procedures involved. Then most important thing, guys, most important thing in our syllabus change, that is mergers, acquisitions, spin-offs and restructuring. This is included in the lesson of winding up. So in winding up, you knew earlier that there is compulsory winding up, there is discretionary, there is voluntary winding up, and winding up subject to the supervision of the court. So it is basically tibbe, right? So for those three provisions were there in the Companies Act. But does the Companies Act have specific provisions for mergers, acquisitions and spin-offs? Merge වෙන්නේ කොහොමද? Company එකක් acquire කරගන්නේ කොහොමද? කියලා specifically තිබ්බද? Specifically තිබ්බද නැහැ. We'll take an example, a little example. So you know what basically a spin-off company is. Spin-off company එකක් කියලා කියන්නේ you operate together, then you separate a portion of the company and let it operate as a separate legal entity, separate independent entity. For example, from 2014 to 2016, you know, Ferrari was with Fiat Chrysler. ගැලවිලා ගියා Ferrari කියලා වෙන කම්පැනි එකක් විදිහට. So ඒක වෙනකොට IPO එකක් තියලා shares issue කරනවාද? එහෙම නැත්නම් තියෙන shares වලින් කොටසක් original company එකේ shareholders ලට දෙනවද? Those kinds of decisions will have to be taken, right? Based on those decisions only, you need to see what provision of the Companies Act you need to look at. So all the provisions are there. All the provisions are there. But what you are doing is not straightforward. පරණ syllabus එක අපිට කතා කරන්න තිබ්බේ straightforward දේවල් ගැන. But now is it straightforward? No. It depends on what you want to do. What you want to do. So it is a complex thing that we have to discuss when it comes to corporate law and taxation. So අනිත් දේවල් මම කතා කරන්න යන්නේ නැහැ. These things have been made available to you. This list has been made available to you through the new curriculum, and also I have given you a small description in the Telegram group as well. So moving on guys, ඔය තිබ්බ ටික අයිති වෙන්නේ 155ට. ඊට අමතරව I told you another 45% is also there in respect of income tax and taxation frameworks, value added tax and tax dispute resolution mechanisms also involving the law, right? ඒ කියන්නේ මේ tax appeals commission එක ගැන, commissioner general of inland revenue ට appeal එකක් කරන එක ගැන, ඊට පස්සේ court of appeal එකට එන එක ගැන, all those things are there under taxation, right? So that is that. And then I will talk about this, one of the most important things. I will talk about why you should be completing CL4 in June 2025, right? June 2025 ඉවර කරන්න ඕනේ කියන එක අපි පොඩ්ඩක් කතා කරමු. ඕගොල්ලන්ටම තේරෙන්න ඕනේ මේක ඉවර කරා නම් හොඳයි කියන එක. Why? Because your syllabus content significantly increases after the 2025 June paper. Taxation වලට වැඩිම 145ක් වැඩියෙන් 145ක් එනවා. තියෙන law වලට අමතරව අලුත් law areas set එකක් එනවා, right? ඊට පස්සේ ඒක අපි මෙතන කියලා දෙනවා no necessity to deal with the new law areas that have been introduced, right? Or මේ පාර කරනවා නම් should you be studying taxation to pass this pillar? No, right? Then CL4 විතරයි නම් ඉතුරු වෙලා තියෙන මේ syllabus එකෙන්. ඒක විතරක් නොකර හිටියොත් ජූන් වල ඒක complete කරේ නැත්තම් ඔයා අනිත් ඒවා ඔක්කොම ඉවර වුණත් අලුත් syllabus එක යටතේ නම් ඔයා law and taxation කරන්න යන්නේ. ඒක කරලා ඔයාට capstone එක pass වෙන්නත් සිද්ධ වෙනවා. Why? Even if one single subject remains, then you will have to go through the capstone as well, right? Capstone එක ගැන හෂාන්ස කතා කරයි, but basically it's a verbal pitch and a written examination based on a case study, right? ඔහොම තමයි ඒකේ structure එක යන්නේ. Other than that, the most important thing is that there are enough and more past papers. There are enough and more past papers for you to do if you are doing CL4 under the current syllabus, right? අලුත් syllabus එකට ආවට පස්සේ අර අපි කතා කරපු අලුත් areas ටික, these are significantly large. Do we have past papers for those areas? No, we don't. So it is entirely new. පරණ syllabus එකේ බැලුවත් past papers නැහැ. 2015 syllabus එකේ බැලුවත් past papers නැහැ, right? So it is entirely new. Basically we'll have to go based on the pilot paper. That is it. That is not a lot to go on forward with. ඉස්සරහට යන්න තරම් ලොකු දේවල් තියෙන තැනක් නෙමෙයි pilot paper එක කියන්නේ. So my advice to you is do it under the current syllabus. Cons ගැන අපි බැලුවොත් cons කියන්න තියෙන අවාසි ජූනි වල කරන එකේ අවාසි මොනවද තියෙන්නේ? syllabus areas ටිකක් අඩු වෙනවා කියලා තියෙනවා. syllabus areas ටිකක් අඩු වෙනවා, සමහර කොටස් අඩු වෙනවා. Okay. එතකොට පස්සේ පාර කරොත් ජූනි වලින් පස්සේ කරොත් ඒවා අමුතුවෙන් බලන්න දෙයක් නැහැ. ඒත් තව මොනවද තියෙන්නේ? If you already possess a thorough knowledge in taxation, the new syllabus subject will be easier to deal with compared to CL4. ඔයා හොඳට tax දන්නේ කෙනෙක් නම් අන්න එතකොට ඔයාලට වැඩේ ලේසි වෙන්න පුළුවන්, right? But හැමෝම හොඳට tax දන්නේ නැහැ. කොහොම හොඳට දැනගෙන හිටියා වුණත් ඔයාට ආයිසරයක් ඒක මතක් කරගන්න වෙනවා. ආයි ඒකට ලෑස්ති වෙන්න සිද්ධ වෙනවා. තුන්වෙනි එක ඇත්තට මේක හොඳ කොන් එකක් you will not get the opportunity to explore the new areas that are introduced under the new syllabus අලුත් syllabus එක ඔයගොල්ලන්ට අලුත් දැනුම ගෙනත් දෙනවා ඒ දැනුම ලබා ගන්න එක නම් ඔයගොල්ලන්ට මිස් වෙනවා ඔයගොල්ලෝ ජූනි වල මේක කරන්න ගියොත් then briefly I will say I will only take about another minute so briefly I will tell you how the not SL4 I think this is SL3 නේද yes typing error SL3 goes into SL25 වලට යනකොට මොකද වෙන්නේ කියලා you only have 4 syllabus areas guys from those 4 in 3 of these you see the word law tax and law tax and law tax and law right so මේ අමුතුවෙන් side එකෙන් උගන්වන laws ටික නෙමෙයි තියෙන්නේ ඔයාගේ syllabus content එක වාට උගන්වන්නේ law කියන එකත් එකතු කරගෙන right for example guys these are the new areas that have been new නෙමෙයි සමහර වෙලාවට තිබ්බ case laws එහෙම තිබ්බා these are the new areas that have been included in your strategic level ELT pillar මොනවද කියන්නේ tax appeals commission procedure එක code of appeal එකට appeal යන විදිහ අපි දන්නවා default assessment එකක් කෙවුවොත් advanced assessment එකක් නැත්නම් amended assessment එකක් කෙවුවොත් there is a procedure in the Inland Revenue Act as to how you should appeal with regard to those ඒකට in additionally you have a writ jurisdiction අපි writ jurisdiction of the court of appeal කතා කරලා තියෙනවා business level එකේදී අන්න writ jurisdiction එක ඇවිල්ලා තියෙනවා දැන් strategic level එකට can you go against the IRD in a writ application at the court of appeal we talk about that then case laws are there then taxpayer rights established under different statutes and case law litigation කියන්නේ මේ සම්බන්ධව නඩු පවරන එක in the magistrates court then anti-corruption අලුත් act එකක් තියෙනවා there is a new act anti-corruption act is introduced and then anti-money laundering measures it was there in the business level syllabus anti-money laundering was there in the business level syllabus it has now been brought up to the strategic level on the business level කරලා ආපු කට්ටියට lazy then there's another new act that is personal data protection act number 9 of 2022 right එතකොට guys ඔය තියෙන්නේ ඔයගොල්ලන්ට strategic level එකට law එන ඒවා right එතකොට guys ඔයගොල්ලන්ට පේනවා ඇති these are no longer separate areas these are no longer separate areas එකපාරක් ඉගෙනගෙන අමතක කරලා දාන්න පුළුවන් දේවල් නෙමෙයි that have been made integral to your syllabus so guys now that is the thing if you have any questions you can of course go ahead and ask all those will be answered so basically this is how your syllabus has changed guys so I will hand over to Harshan sir see you all
right so students so we will be going to the paper structure right I'm not going to detailedly discuss this because this is available in YouTube as well we have already published a video so business level corporate and strategic business level 50 objective test type questions so currently they have tested only MCQs but they are they are guaranteeing us they will definitely test objective test questions so not only MCQs when you are coming to the business level new business level and so the total marks 100 it's a 2-hour computer based exam 50% marks and the thing is this is 3 months to 3 months exam so currently you are having per month exam but this is only 3 months to 3 months and corporate level students the biggest loss is what when you are coming to the new syllabus 10 MCQs are not there right ඔයාලට ඒක වෙනස තේරෙන්නේ මේක ලියන්න ගියාම MCQ 10න් හැමදාම ලකුණු ගන්නවා ළමයි right even in management accounting examiner report always from the 20 marks MCQ always students are having the average of at least 10 was there හැබැයි ඒකටත් ඔයාලට essay type දෙකකින් තමයි මේ ලකුණු 20 cover කරන්න වෙන්නේ ඒක significant disadvantage එකක් it's a significant disadvantage even I think other lecturers also will agree for like financial reporting law maybe auditing so 10 MCQs because you have the answers right what I answer එක තියෙනවනේ කනාවට හරි ගහන්න පුළුවන් ඒක නෑ right so you have 5 short scenarios one question you are having 10 marks so 5 questions 50 marks first one And also there is some kind of a relief in the section B, right? But section A, මේව mandatory ළමයි. මේව mandatory. අනිවාර්යෙන් කරන්න ඕනේ. So section B, you have 3 questions, complex scenario, long scenarios, right? So 3 questions you have, but you have option to avoid one. එකක් අතාරින්න පුළුවන්. Okay? So 25, 2 questions you have to do. එකක් අතාරින්න පුළුවන්, පොඩි relief එකක් තියෙනවා. පොඩි relief එකක් තියෙනවා. හැබැයි එහෙම කියලා ඔයා හිතන්න එපා හැමදාම මේ ප්‍රශ්න තුන එකම පාඩම් වලින් අහයි කියලා. මේක chartered, we are learning chartered accounting, right? You know it. So 100 marks, 3-hour paper base. So paper base would be basically our online exam CI overseas ළමයිට ඒක ගැන වෙනම කියලා නැහැ curriculum එකේ, but probably that will happen. And pass marks 50%. Then the strategic level, you have a mini case study. The mini case study කියන්නේ එක පිටුව නෙවෙයි. ඒක case study එකක්, right? Make a short scenario. This is a case study. So case study එකකින් සාමාන්‍ය පිටු 10 15ක් නේ. The mini case study එකම පිටු 3ක් 4ක් ඇති. Right? අපි දන්නේ නැහැ ඒක. We have to wait till the pilot papers and all. So that's you are having 50 marks. So 50 marks means ඒක බෙදෙන්න පුළුවන් questions වලට. It can be there are 3 to 4 questions. So then you have again 3 complex scenarios. You have a kind of a relief. You can choose one. මොකද සමහර කාලවට strategic දැන් මගේ paper එහෙම නේ සමහර ළමයිට මේ සමහර 25ම එකක්වත් කරගන්න බෑ. කිව්වට තේරෙන්නෙත් නැහැ. හැබැයි දැන් පොඩි relief එකක් තියෙනවා. why? You have 3 questions, so you can select 2. But the thing is no pre-scene, right? So you know pre-scene we have thoroughly analyzed, thoroughly discussed. අපිට පොඩ්ඩක් relief එකකුත් තියෙනවා අන්තිම මාසේ පොඩ්ඩක් අර තරම් අපිට අපිට ඒ කාලේ වැඩ මුකුත්ම කරන්න බෑ මේ pre-scene එක නිසා. ඉතින් පොඩි relief එකක් අපිට තියෙනවා එතනින්. but ඔයාලට පොඩි disadvantage එකක් කියලා තමයි මම කියන්නේ. why? Let's say if it is financial reporting, Chamath sir normally predict all the console questions, right? Chamath sir predict කරපු නැති question නෑ මම හිතන්නේ අද නෑ ඇවිල්ලා නෑ. Vipula sir will predict all the auditing risk of material misstatements. ඒක කවදාවත් ඇවිල්ලා නැති වෙලා නෑ හැමදාම එනවනේ. Even SL2 last time around 60 to 70 marks tested from my mock paper. So mock papers how I prepare, that's based on the pre-scene, right? So that advantage is missing. Okay? So you will have the real life, real scenarios. හැබැයි pros cons දෙකම තියෙනවා. ඉතින් ඒක නිසා. ඒක නිසා අර ඔයා මේක ඊළඟ සිලබස් එකේ මොනවා හරි ලියනවා කියලා අවුල් වෙන්න එපා. හැබැයි අර පුළුවන් නම් මේ සිලබස් එකේ තියෙන ටික ඉවර කරගන්න දෙපැත්තම තියෙනවා. ඉතින් pros cons දෙකම තියෙනවා. So then this is also 100 marks. So 3-hour paper base, you have to have 50 marks, right? Then students, so capstone. So what's the capstone? මම මේක explain කරලා තියෙන්නේ අතනම YouTube එකේ video එකෙත්. So capstone means, so as we explained earlier, it's a verbal pitch plus a paper based assessment. So it's not really mentioned in the curriculum whether you have to pass verbal pitch to do the paper base. But after the ceremony, we talk to them. So basically you have to pass verbal pitch to do this one. Okay. So before doing the verbal pitch, students, so before doing the verbal pitch, you have power and integrity skills. Power skills පහක් තියෙනවා. You have five power skills. You have 3 sorry, this is integrity, right? So this word should change. 3 integrity skills. So altogether 8. Altogether you have 8. You have to complete this. So that is mandatory because it says clearly, it says in the curriculum, the entry qualification to the capstone, you have to complete this. But you can complete this while you are doing the level. While you are doing the level. Let's say business level, you can complete this while you are doing that. ඒ කියන්නේ ගොඩක් වෙලාවට මොනවා හරි CA එකෙන් videos මොනවා හරි publish කරයි. ඒක බලලා you have to do self assessment quizzes, right? Quizzes. එතකොට සමහර හැබැයි මෙහෙම මේක level එක පටන් ගන්නකොටම කරන වඩා ටිකක් මැද හරියදී කරන එක හොඳයි. Let's say from the 6 months 4, 5, 6 months වල කරන එක හොඳයි because you should have some kind of a knowledge of the core modules as well. So once you complete this, only you can go to the capstone pitching part. Pitching කියන්නේ baseball ගහනකොට pitch කරන එක නෙවෙයි, right? Pitch කියන්නේ you present. I was a baseball player, that's right. Okay? So you have to present, right? So you have to present means in business and corporate level students, verbal pitching means you have to submit a recorded video to the CS Sri Lanka based on the pre-scene. Based on the pre-scene means that the same for the capstone you have one pre-scene. ඒ කියන්නේ අර මාසයකට කලින් නෙවෙයි pre-scene එක මං හිතන්නේ ඊට කලින් මේක issue කරන්න ඕනේ. Okay? Probably they have to issue before that, right? Probably they have to issue before that. So what you have to නිකන් example එකක් විදිහට. Let's say ABC Private Limited, you have a case study that's there. Pre-scene එක issue කරලා තියෙන්නේ. So what you have to do? Now let's say you have completed skills, right? So now you have to analyze. Don't worry, we will analyze, right? What analyze කරන්න දෙයක් නැහැ. අර pre-scene කියපු කතන්දර ටික දැන් මේ capstone කරන කට්ටියට set වෙනවා. හරිද? අපිට මේ capstone කර ඇත්තටම අපිට කර ඉන්න බැරි වෙනවා ගොඩක් වෙලාවට. අපිට සමහර parts කරන්න වෙන්න පුළුවන්. We don't know, but definitely we will be having a separate capstone team. That's our plan at the moment. Don't worry. අපි මේකට වෙනම කට්ටියක් අපි පිටරටින් හරි ගෙනල්ලා හරි කරනවා. බය වෙන්න එපා. Right? So what you have to do? You have to analyze. You mean we will analyze, don't worry. So you have to get the analysis knowledge, and based on that, okay, CA Sri Lanka will ask to do something. ඒකේ මොකක් හරි මේක ගැන pitching එකක් කරන්න 15 minutes වගේ video එකක් කරන්න. You have to do the video, right? Maybe we can facilitate onlineaccounting.lk for you to do the video if it is a major part, right? ඒක ගොඩාම අවශ්‍ය එකක් නම් we will do that, don't worry. එහෙම උනත් කරන්න. මම ඔයාලට මේ බය නැති කරන්න කියන්නේ නැතෝ මේකට බය වෙනවනේ. Then in corporate level also same, you have to do the video and submit. So once you submit the video, they will review it, evaluate it, and they will say, okay, you can go ahead. They can make a pass the නැද්ද? make a pass the නැද්ද? Right? Strategic එකට යනවා නම් දැන් strategic currently you are having a assignment. Students who are doing strategic level, you know, strategic case study, final integrated case study, you are currently having an assignment. Normally Chamath sir and Vasant sir is doing. So assignment you have to submit at the moment. But in the new one, the same pre-scene will be there, right? So currently එකට pre-scene එකක් නැහැ වෙනම assignment guidelines there. But from the pre-scene we analyze. Based on that, now you have to do this presentation. It's not a video, in front of the CA Sri Lanka professionals. So maybe chartered accountants are there in the board, right? එතනට ගිහිල්ලා present කරන්න ඕනේ. So once you pass it, right? දැන් මේ වගේ ළමයි එකපාරක් fail වුණොත් resubmission එකක් දෙනවද? ඒක අපිට කියලා නැහැ, right? ඒවට අපිට වෙනම meeting එකක් තියෙන ඉස්සරහට අපිට දැන් තියෙනවා ප්‍රශ්න 40 ගාණක් මේ list කරලා. ඒ ඔක්කොම අපි අහනවා. ඔයාලට තියෙන ප්‍රශ්නත් අපිට දැන් උත්තර දෙන්න බැරිව අපි අහනවා. සහ ඔයාලට මාර්තු 6 කොහෙද session එකක් තියෙනවා chartered එකේ අහන්න ප්‍රශ්න ඔක්කොම තියෙන ඒවා අහන්න. Right? Because they have to answer. We will be doing some answering. හැබැයි අපිටත් බැරිව ඔයාලට යාගෙන් ගොල්ලන්ගෙන් අහන්න පුළුවන්. Then so physical pitch is there, strategic levels. Once you are done with this, you will come to the capstone assessment. This will be a significant portion of the syllabus, students, right? So අපේ lecturing පැත්තේත් අපිට ගොඩාක් මහන්සි වෙන්න ඕනේ දෙයක් මේක. So based on the unseen, so you have a pre-scene. The strategic කරන ළමයි දන්නවා මේ pre-scene unseen කතාව. Pre-scene කියන්නේ case study එකේ. In the case study you have a part, right? You are receiving a pre-scenario. Case study එකේ ABC company එක current scenario. But the remaining part of that you will receive at the exam. එතන ඒකෙන්දී තමයි අර pre-scene predictions and whatever the things will be happening. Okay? So we will practice maybe doing mock papers, pre-scene analysis, predictions, right? අර strategic එකේ pre-scene එක නැහැ කියලා හිතපු ළමයිට ඔන්න pre-scene තුනක් එනවා දැන්. හරිද? Right? ඒගොල්ලන්ට එකයි එන්නේ. So we will analyze it. You go to the exam, you do it. So probably the pitching and the capstone assessment both will happen based on one pre-scene, right? So ඔයා මේ pre-scene එකත් එක්ක තමයි මේ මාස ගාණක් ඉන්නේ. But definitely for the capstone you have to spend around 6 months. සාමාන්‍යයෙන් 6 months යයි තියෙන විදියට ගොඩක් වෙලාවට. We don't know whether the exams of the capstone will happen 3 months to 3 months or 6 months to 6 months. They told business level 3 months to 3 months. හැබැයි ඒකේ capstone එකත් 3 months to 3 months ද කියන එක but හරියටම confirm කරලා නැහැ. Right? So corporate strategic 6 months to 6 months ඒකේ කොහොමද කියලා නැහැ. Anyway මම හිතන්නේ business level නම් 3 months to 3 months වත් ඒගොල්ලන්ට තියන්න වෙයි because of the quantity, right? So this is about the capstone. So I hope you are okay with the so then no viva. Someone is asking, no viva can be there. Viva is not for a student. Viva is before becoming a member, right? So viva can still be there. maybe මේක තියෙන හින්දා viva නැති වෙන්න පුළුවන්. But viva can still be there. ඒක ගැන අපිට තාම කියලා නැහැ. Right? So then exemption students, so this is maybe something important for you if you don't know about the exemptions. So strategic level, this is current syllabus. Strategic level, this is the new syllabus, right? So SL1, if you are done with SL1 ABR, you will get a direct exemption for the SL1, SL25-1. Pari amaru nam kiyan. SL1 20-25-1, right? Maybe that will change into 26. ඒක 26 කරයි මං හිතන්නේ 2027 වෙනවා 27 කරයි ඒක වෙන්න ඕනේ ඔබ්ජෙක්ටිව් එක දන්නේ හරියට. Right? Then you have SL2 corporate finance and risk management. අපි ඒ නමින්ම SL1 2ම කියමු ළමයි මේ 25 එහෙම කියන්න ඕනේ නැහැ නේ අපි. Okay? අපි අපිට ඕන විදිහට හදාගමු. හරිද? So this is SL2 same code is same strategic finance and management accounting මේක කරොත් මේක හම්බ වෙනවා කිසි ප්‍රශ්නයක් නැහැ. ඊට පස්සේ SL3 that's also okay. Why? When you do the SL3 you will get strategic tax planning exemption. That's there. The SL4 මොකද වෙන්නේ? SL4 එකට එහෙම exemptions හම්බෙන්නේ නැහැ. To get the exemption for SL4 you have to complete SL1, SL2, SL3, SL4 all 4. Right? මේක මුලින් තිබුණ නැහැ. පස්සේ amend කරා. Right? So if you are done with all these 4, you will get the exemption for the remaining subject. But if you want to get the practicing certificate, ඔයාලා මේක ආයි කරන්න වෙනවා, right? Practicing certificate, I think I will ask people also to somewhat describe this and make sure students, now if you are remaining one subject at the moment or 2 subjects, let's say 3 subjects, okay, completing the whole strategic level will really give you a benefit. Why? Because if not, you have to do any additional one. දවා හිතන්න ඔයාලට SL1 2 3 විතරයි වා ඉවර. Right? SL4 යා ඉවර කරන්නේ. Anyway, you have to do the new subject. Right? Then let's say you are done with SL2 3 4, SL1 not done. Then how many subjects? You have to do 2 subjects. Right? දැන් ඒ ළමයිට දැන් මෙහෙමයි ළමයි. සාමාන්‍ය syllabus change යන නිසා සමහර අයට පාඩු වෙනවා. සමහර අයට වාසි. ඒක that's the syllabus change. Right? So that's why even chartered institute is giving some benefits yo. මේවා මේ ඔය CES courses දාන ඒවා කරනවා සමහරක් වෙලා. දැන් මේ active agreement වලින් ලියන්න දීලා එහෙම ගොඩක් දේවල් කරලා තියෙනවා ඔයාලට හොඳේ. ඔයාලට ඒක පේන්නේ නැහැ. මේ කාලයක් තිස්සේ දුන්නානේ. So some people will get the benefit. Some it's a disadvantage for some. So let's say if you are remaining SL1 2 3 මේ තුනෙන් එක remain කියලා හිතන්නකෝ. If you are remaining SL1, SL2 or SL3, you have to do the similar subject of that in the next syllabus as well as the new subject. ඒ කියන්නේ ඇත්තටම ඔයා SL4 දැන් පාස් කියලා හිතන්නකෝ. ඔයාලා SL4 පාස්. කියන ඇත්තට කතාව ඔයාට strategic level subject පහක් කරන්න වෙනවා. ඇයි මේක එකයි අර මෙතනින් එකක් හරි ඉතුරු වුණොත් you are remain one, right? You have to do that subject as well as the new subject. So what is my advice? If you have remaining subjects, I would say you do everything. Even this time also we had students who got through all 4. Right? All 4. දැන් කවුරු හරි ළමයට එකපාරට පටන් ගන්නකොට හතරම කරන්න හිතෙන්නේ නැත්නම් දෙකක් කරන්න. එතන ප්‍රශ්නයක් නැහැ. That's okay. But if you have done එකක් හරි කරලා තියෙනවා නම් මම නම් කියන්නේ තුරු තුන කරන්න පුළුවන් නම් හොඳයි කියලා මේ syllabus එකේ. But you have to put your commitment. එතකොට පොඩ්ඩක් අර pressure එකට හරි වැඩ කරයිනේ. So that's the exemption for this level. And Vipula sir, will you explain something about the new exemption?
Sorry, Hassan sir, you explained what I want to tell. Actually, this is one of the concern in the so many Telegram groups and everywhere where with the auditing subject, one of the auditing subject that will be exempted or not. So we spoke to the CA on the last day. And so accordingly now they have announced, so as Ashan sir mentioned, if you have finished the level, if you complete SL1, SL2, SL3, SL4, we take it as a level completed, right? Forget about the SL5. SL5, don't get confused. SL5 is a case study. SL1, SL2, SL3, SL4, if you are complete, we take it as like a knowledge pillar completed, not the entire level. Knowledge one is completed at the strategic level. So accordingly, exemption is given for the auditing paper. But as Hashan sir mentioned, if someone wants to get the practicing certificate, that will not be exempted. You have to do the SL3 one subject for a advanced audit and professional practice. So I think it's clear, students, now. As Hashan sir mentioned, at all the circumstances, you except one, you will have to do a 4 subject at the strategic level in the current syllabus or 4 subject in the new syllabus. You can make a ගොඩක්ම වෙලාවට ඔයාලා ගොඩක් හැමෝටම බහුතරයකට සබ්ජෙක්ට් 4යි කරන්න වෙන ස්ට්‍රැටජික් ලෙවල් එකේ 90%කට. හැබැයි එකම අවස්ථාවක් තියෙනවා. SL1 එක දැනට කම්ප්ලීට් කරලා හරි එහෙම නැත්නම් එක්සැම්පෂන් එකකින් එන කෙනෙක් හරි ඉන්නවා නම් ඒලා SL4 එකේ එක්සැම්පෂන් එකට අර SL3 new SL3 සබ්ජෙක්ට් එක අර auditing subject එක exempt කරන්නේ නැහැ. So you expect that because other 3 subjects are matched, SL1, SL2, SL3 is matched to the new SL1, SL2 and SL4. So you expect that the remaining subject of the SL4, the strategic management, will be exempted for the SL3 new subject of the auditing, which is not happening and which is not, there is no logic as well. So it's confirmed from CA, so that will not happen. But I see that if you can complete the level that for subject, so there won't be any disadvantage. So please try to do that one. Right. Over to you, Hashan sir.
Right. So if you are remaining with SL4 only, then you have to do the new subject, right? Let's say you are done with SL1, 2, 3, SL4 remain. So in new syllabus, you have to do the either this one or this one. Okay. And the corporate level. So this is the corporate level. So very easy mapping. If you are done with CL1, you will be exempted with CL3, right? පොඩක් නම විතර වෙනස් වෙලා තියෙන මම මගේ නම විපුලසට දුන්නා, right? code එක. So CL3 risk governance and audit. CL2, so that will become CL1 corporate financial reporting. ඒ code ටිකට පොඩක් හුරු වෙන්න වෙයි ළමයි. මේක change වුණාම හුරු වෙන්න ඕනේ නැහැ නේ මේක pass වුණාම, right? If you get through, you don't need to get used for that. So එතකොට strategic level අලුත් codes ටිකක් විදිහටම හිතේ තියාගන්න පුළුවන්. So CL3 advanced management accounting, you get CL2 advanced management accounting and finance, and corporate law CL4 අන්න ඒක විතරක් වෙනස් වෙලා නැහැ. චලන සර්ට ඒ නමම දීලා code එක. Corporate law and taxation, right? So these are the exemption, students, and exempt for this one. This is very important, right? So let's say you are having around 2 subjects, or let's say you are having 3 subjects. You do 2 subjects now. Only CL4 remaining, only CL1 remaining, only CL2 remaining, only CL3 remaining. But still, you have to do that subject as well as the capstone. So to get the exemptions for corporate capstone, ළමයි මේක මාර වැදගත් හොඳේ 6 months යනවනේ capstone කරන්න. Okay. So if you complete CL1, CL2, CL3, CL4, CS3, IT2, now you request from Charity Institute to give another CS3 batch, right? ඔයාලා request කරන්න ඒගොල්ලෝ දෙයි. Right? ඔයාලා request කරොත් ඒකට තේරෙනවනේ මේ demand එකක් තියෙනවා කියන්නේ. They will give you. You request, we have to get the level wise exemption, give us, right? You have a discussion, maybe us. So IT2 also badges නැත්තම් මම දන්නේ. Maybe you can request. So if you have a possibility to do the CS3 and IT2, make sure, students, if you can complete CL1, 2, 3, 4 even at once, that will be a relief for you. Why? It's not only about 4 subjects, it's the 5 subject exemption. තේරෙනවද කියන එක? subject 4ක් කරොත් subject 5ක් release වෙනවා. subject 4ක් කරොත් subject 5ක් release වෙනවා. 6 months save වෙනවා. Right? So if you can, then 4 months තියෙනවා. If you can try to do this one and maybe request from the CA Institute to have CS3 and IT2. If you don't have current badges, මම දන්නේ නැහැ තියනවාද කියලා නැත්නම්, right? So this is very important to get the exemption for corporate capstone. Even for business level students, business level capstone exemptions ගන්න, you have to complete BL1 to BL8, CS2 and IT1, right? So some students ask, what about CS4 and IT3? Student, we don't know about that. CA Sri Lanka not inform anything on that. So my prediction would be basically they will relate that to power skills. Power skills. So I don't know whether there is a benefit of doing that. So that's why you have a session. You ask from them, right? So what's the point of doing CS4? What is the benefit of doing CS4? We have paid for CS4. We have paid for IT3. So explain the benefit, right? Even we don't know at the moment. CS1 students nothing pick karana. So we will ask them also to check, right? So if you are done with CS4, or if you registered for CS4, IT3, check with CA Sri Lanka, what would be the exemption, right? Okay, so that's the business communication point of view. So now we can allow you to ask questions. So maybe and also some students are asking, so they have done these subjects in 2015 syllabus, right? 10 to 50. So what would be the exemption? Students, ඒවත් අපිට inform කරලා නැහැ, right? Because තාම syllabus එක release වෙලා මේ දවස් 3යි හොඳේ. This was released on Thursday, right? Thursday, within 1 hour, we released the summary. Okay? And Saturday, we released a video. Within 36 hours, we released a video on YouTube. Then Sunday, right? We are doing a live session. So it is still 3 days. For Sri Lanka, only one working day. Right? Friday is the only working day. Thursday, working day එකෙන් පස්සේ කරේ මේක. ඔයාලා තේරුම් ගන්න මේ තාම එක working day එකයි ගිහිල්ලා තියෙන්නේ. Still we are giving this information. Right? So we are having certain information, but from that we will give you what we can. So if you have any subjects you have done from 15 to 20 syllabus, let's say ඔයා සමහර BBC කරා කියනවා මේවා කියනවාද අපිට පොඩියට prediction කියන්න පුළුවන්. හැබැයි අපි එහෙම කියලා ඔක වෙනස් වුණොත් that's a ප්‍රශ්නයක්. ඒ නිසා best thing is maybe you can send an email from the inquiries. You can send an email, okay, I did this subject, what would be the let's say exemption. And for AAT students, now AAT students are asking what about the exemption? No, it's not decided still from the new syllabus. Exemptions කියන එක decide කරන්නේ syllabus එක launch කරලා ටික කාලයක් ගියාට පස්සේ with those institutes they discuss and they map. After that only they will release. But for AAT student, make sure if you are done with BCL 6 and 8 and CS2 and IT1, you are done with the business level capstone asset. You can start from corporate level. And AAT also syllabus will be changed in March. Then what is happening? They will map the new AAT syllabus and corporate and chartered syllabus. Then only they will see what are the exemptions in AAT. අපිට තාම මුකුත් කියන්න බෑ. සමහර අය අහනවා සර් මගේ යුනිවර්සිටි එකට ඩිග්‍රී එකට ඒවා කියන්නත් බෑ. ඔය exemption ගන්න ඔය යුනිවර්සිටි එකට නම් තව ගොඩක් කල්යයි. exemption කියනකොට සාමාන්‍ය AAT institute එක ඔකටක් ගාලා කතා කරනවා. So if you are having a university degree, from that if you are getting exemption, you have to check that maybe like 3 to 4 months after this. සමහරක් විට අපි දන්න ඉක්මනට දෙයිද කියලා. So you have to check that. ඒවා අපිට තාම කියන්න බෑ. ඒවා අපිට කියන්න වෙන්නේ map කරලා mapping කරලා. So now I think we can ask you to send questions. So right, maybe
can I interrupt?
Yes, people sir.
Yeah. Ashan sir, now a lot of students are asking this the SL4 again and again and again. It is been a question. So what we told students, what is communicated by CA last Friday. So there is a one concern is there that what will happen to the SL4 exemption now. If you have passed the SL4, what will happen? So as per the available information and based on the curriculum, I don't see any continued advantage of SL4 subject other than the level completion. So therefore, the same question being repeated. I don't think that there will be any release for that particular subject, even if you have passed. And also some students are asking this BBC completion. As Sashan sir mentioned, it is not given, but it's a deem understand that when you have the exemption from the previous similar subject, there is a possibility for that exemption to continue. Now, for an example, somebody is asking SL1, SL2 is completed and SL3 is doing this time, and SL4 already you have an exemption. So if you pass the SL1 and 2 this time, so your level is completed by June exam. So you have to directly do the capstone in December 25. That's finished. Right. So therefore, I hope that whatever the information that we have given is now sufficient for you to make the decision with regard to the SL4. And if there is any further concerns of the SL4 released, or you tell us tell us if anything further, we will also inquire from CA. Like the Friday incident we happen to communicate and re-communicate to you all. So we will take it up with the CA, and you also have an opportunity to communicate with the CA next Tuesday in the live class. And we will, I mean, in the syllabus change, student, this happens, this transitions actually with compared to 2020, 2015, the transitional provisions are good this time. I mean, very minimum impact is there. Business level 1 and except business level 1 and the SL3 subject, SL4 exemption, very minimum impact. So mostly CA will give when I inquire the Friday, they will issue a FAQ, frequently asked questions, on certain important repeatedly asked questions. So this SL4 issue, we will inform to the CA as well to include that as a special question. Then you will get a clarity during the next week time. Please be patient for another 1 or 2 days time. So we are also, as Ashant mentioned, we are also talking with the CA, because we get the comments from a lot of students, and we also talk, and then we communicate back to you all with what best. And also to tell you, student, the CA Sri Lanka also very flexible and very flexible in terms of the addressing the students' concern. So there is a possibility for us to discuss, and if that doesn't disturb to the CA Sri Lanka core objective of the syllabus, so if there is a possibility, CA Sri Lanka will definitely consider your request as well. But we should not make any request where it impacts, where it disturbs the core objective of the new syllabus.
Right. Now some students are asking, sir, I have completed this subject, this subject, this subject. What would be the exemption? Then lama එහෙම අහන්න එපා. ඒක very individual නේ, right? So අපි මෙතන පෙන්නුවානේ subject මොනවද කියලා exemption. ඒක individual base ඒවා නෙවෙයි, common ඒවා අහන්න. Now one student told, sir, I have to do CL4 and BL7 not completed. So that you have to check with the chartered institute. So he is asking, so I have to do this BL7 exam in April. So will I have time? So what you have to check that is, you have to check from the institute, right? Because you have to check that from the institute, okay, when the exam application will be called, and after April exam, when the results will be issued. So you have to check with them whether you have time remain. ඒවා අපිට කියන්න අමාරුයි, right? ඒවා CA එකේ වෙනම staff එකක් ඉන්නවනේ. So someone is asking, I have successfully completed business level 1 and 2, planning to sit for the CL4 exam. However, I understand under the new syllabus will be, could you please clarify whether I would need to take the updated version of CL4 in no, CL4 is 2025, you don't have updated version, right? ඔයාගේ අලුත් syllabus එක 25 June නෑ, 25 June පරණ syllabus එක. Okay, I have to cover only CST to complete corporate level, and the exam will be held on, am I eligible to write the strategic level? You have to check that. You have to check that, Amila. Now these timelines we don't know. ඔයාගේ exam ඔයාට CST එකක් තියෙන්නේ මේ දවසේ. එතකොට chartered එකේ exam application ගන්න කවද්ද? chartered එකෙන් ඒකට concession එකක් දෙනවද? Will they give you? So that we cannot even answer. අපිට මොකක් හරි කියලා ඒක වැරදෙන්න පුළුවන්, right? ඒ වගේ ඒවා you have to, I mean you have a now, දැන් මෙහෙම ළමයි මෙහෙම call කරලා මහන්න ඕනේ නෑ. ඔයාට inquiries වල දැන් chartered institute එකට යවන්න පුළුවන්, right? You have a way. Even written confirmation is really important. සමහර වෙලාවට cutting ඒ වෙලාවේ කියන එක වෙනස් වෙන්න පුළුවන්. ඔයාට evidence එකක් තියෙනවා. So you get the written confirmation for that. If I complete SL1, 2, 3 and SL5 before June. SL5 before June, make sure you do the SL5 in June. But let's say you are not done with CS4 or IT3. Still you have to do the strategic capstone, right? To get released the strategic capstone, you have to complete all 70 knowledge components up to SL5. You have to complete all skills level. CS4, IT3. එකක් හරි remain වුණොත් I strategic capstone කරන්න. ඒක නිසා ඒවා හරියට බලන්න. Explain the exemption to whom completing BVC එක දන්නේ අපි බලන්න ඕනේ, right?
Sir, can you explain this open book matter as well, because this has been
yes. So open book, I think I would ask Chamath sir to explain for his open book, and because I don't have open books, right? මගේ පිළ closed book. right? So, but Vipula sir's pillar and Chamath sir's pillar, maybe Chalna sir's pillar also some, we are having some open books. So let's say 2 minutes each, we can explain.
Okay, students, regarding the open books, actually, so open book in the sense when it's come to financial reporting pillar, now the corporate level, even though the financial reporting, the other pillars also, there are some recommended publications that you can take to the exams, right? So business level, you can't do it, but in the corporate level and the strategic level, there are some recommended publications you have to take to the exam. So at the moment, financial reporting, the CL2 subject and SL1 subject have some sort of a list of the books that you can carry to the exam, and you are already aware about it. But now what is happening in the new syllabus, now they have specifically highlighted. For example, now, if you think about the CL2 subject, and it is going to be CL1 in the new curriculum, you are not getting the chance to take the corporate governance and ethics books to the exams. Why? Corporate governance and ethics has moved to the Vipula subject. That particular books can be taken to the Vipula subject, right? The corporate governance for the ethics avashyat naha, denneth naha. If you think about SL1 subject now, you can take some auditing standard books and everything, but SL1 is going to be a financial reporting subject, and those things also will be removed, right? Ekamade lamaine, most of the you can see the recommended publications that you can take to the exam. Maybe I can't remember the exact page number, but latter part of the curriculum you can see it, but that list need to be corrected. Why? If I pointed out one particular thing, the IFRIC and SIC standards, all those things have mentioned under the books that you can take under the auditing pillar, but that has to be included into financial reporting as well. Like SIC interpretation theorem, statement of recommended practices තියෙන එක auditing එකට විතරයි ගෙනියන්න දෙන්න කියලා තියෙනවා. හැබැයි ඒක financial reporting එකටත් එන්න ඕන. So as per the news that we got at the moment, that particular open book publication materials need to be fine tuned, and that will be come out with the revised version. But for the time being, keep remember, especially when it's come to the auditing subjects and the financial reporting subject, you can take the books, permitted publications to the exam, right? Auditing subject වලයි, financial reporting subject වලයි ඔයාට ගෙනියන්න පුළුවන්. ඊට අමතරව tax එකෙත් තියෙනවා. හරිද? ඒවයි ඔයාට permitted publications ගෙනියන්න පුළුවන් exam එකට. ඒක මතක තියාගන්න. ලොකු වෙනසක් නෑ. දැනට තියෙන ඒවායින් පොඩ්ඩක් එහෙ මෙහෙ වෙලා තියෙන ඒවා තව fine tune කරන්න තියෙනවා. fine tune කරලා institute එකේ හරියටම සමහර විට ලබන සතිය අපිට කියයි. Hari. Vipula sir, anything to add?
Yes, Chamath sir. Now, as you mentioned, auditing pillar, the three subjects actually. That means corporate level auditing subject as well as the strategic level. Both the auditing subjects are open book exam, right? So it's a now key change from the existing to the new one is CL1 was the closed book exam earlier. So it's going to be open book exam. You know that when something becomes open book, so the all scenario based questions will coming in. Basic theory will not be tested. So therefore, again, my prediction, again, I'm telling students CL1 becoming new CL3 is a highly challenging because it becomes an open book exam as well. But as Chamath mentioned, now in the page number 47, right, page number 45 and 46 student contains the open book reference guideline in the Sri Lanka new curriculum. But they are the books and all will have to be changed because auditing books and all that is not properly mentioned. Even I made an inquiry from CA, so they will make the correction shortly. But remember that for the moment, for you to be aware, auditing both the subjects are going to be, all three subjects are going to be, all three main strategic level 2 and the corporate level 1 are going to be open book exam. Right. Thank you.
Right. And I'm back, Lamai. You know, in your corporate level, you were allowed to take the Companies Act to your exam. So Companies Act, that's why we went through it thoroughly and we learned how to refer the act properly. That was one of the core competencies that you had to acquire whilst you were learning corporate law, right? Now, this has been extended. You know, the subject now carries corporate law as well as taxation. So you can take the Companies Act to the exam and also the Inland Revenue Act of 2017, number 26, that you can take to the exam, and the VAT Act of 2002. So the Inland Revenue Act and the Value Added Tax Act those you can take, including the amendments that came subsequent to the enactment of the act. And for the strategic level law and taxation subject, you can take the VAT Act and the Inland Revenue Act. Take a Companies Act. There's one important thing. That is, when it came to the Companies Act, the subsequent amendments did not make much of a difference to your subject, but VAT and Inland Revenue Act are the two subjects or the two subjects areas that keep on changing. So if you have the principal enactment, මුලින්ම දාපු act එක තියෙනවා, ඊට පස්සේ subsequent amendments are there later, right? So which have been changed, which have been modified, which have been repealed and removed, ඒක හරියට දැනගෙන exam එකට අරගෙන යන එක core skill එකක්. So you need to know how to refer them properly. Even if you are allowed to take them to the exam, is not going to make you pass, just like I told you in the corporate level. Now that has been brought to a whole another different level because it's more difficult now, right? So over to you, Ashan sir.
Right. So students, so many are asking about the training requirement. So I have listed some questions from your chat box. So training requirement, you have to have 3 years training to become a chartered accountant. That's not change, right? අවුරුදු 3ක් coding. Practicing කරනවා නම් අවුරුදු 4ක් in an audit firm you need. That's not change. But to do the strategic level, right? Strategic level කරන්න previously you needed 2 years. This is the first time in the history the CA Sri Lanka is allowing for you to do the strategic level, the final level within 1 year training, right? Throughout a 1 year training, now there are some students maybe who completed 1 year training after A levels, maybe before going to university, who are stuck at the university now, right? So you can complete strategic level, you can complete, right? What ඊට පස්සේ අවුරුදු දෙක training කරලා chartered accountancy qualification එක ගන්න පුළුවන්. So only the training requirement is for the final level, that's also only 1 year, right? For the corporate level, no need training. Business level, no need training. So you can complete 66% of the chartered journey without training, and you can complete all other exams also within 1 year training. And now some students are asking, so if you complete all 4 subjects, strategic level subjects in June, will there be another SL5 exam under the old syllabus? No, at the moment, no. Right? So there is a repeat exam for SL5 for the SL5 students who get failed in June, right? Yes, June you will have, right? June you will have. So that's for the students who are currently done with SL1 to SL4. But let's say if you complete SL1 to SL4 by June, then you don't have an exam. Maybe they will give you, but at the moment, no, right? අපිට එහෙම හරියට කියන්න බැරි එකයි. But let's say if someone is doing SL5 in June or SL5 June කරන කෙනෙක් case study, unfortunately you fail. For you there is an repeat exam. That's what they told verbally, right? අපිටත් මේ අපි කියන වචනේ confirm කියලා ගන්න එපා, verbally එහෙම අපිට කිව්වා. So එහෙම ඒක හිතන්න එපා SL5 කරන June අය එක කරලා ඉවර කරන්න, right? So one student is asking, sir, I will be doing only 2 subjects in strategic level. What would be the best combination? This is my suggestion. Even I discussed with Chamath also. He also agreed. The best one is you do the SL1 and SL2. Why? You have 2 direct subjects and also SL3. The tax, right? Year of assessments could change. New budget things are there. So better lama you complete SL3 under the new tax laws, right? දැන් ඉතින් තියෙන එක ඔයා ඉගෙනගෙන පාස් වුණා කියලා වැඩක් නැහැ. ඔයා මාකට් එකට ගියාට ඔයාට දාන්නේ පරණ knowledge එකනේ. So in that case, ඔයාට පොඩ්ඩක් හරි ඔයාට value addition එකක් එනවා if you do the SL1 and SL2, right? So our suggestion, if you do only 2 subjects in strategic level, you do SL1 and SL2. And one student asked, so I have paid for SL4 at onlineaccounting.lk. Is there any concession? Yes, right? So we have discussed this. I did 2 hours ago before this session. Now let's say, now make sure if you want to complete the whole level, you have to do SL4, right? If you are going to do the strategic level whole level, that's okay. Please do the SL4. But let's say if you are if you are doing only 2 subjects, now currently you purchase SL1 and SL4, let's say SL3 and SL4, SL2 and SL4. So now you have to give up SL4 since there is no direct exemption. So you have to do one subject, and we have decided we will be giving you 50% of the class fee, and we will transfer that to another subject. So that will be available from online accounting. Then other house right? It will be informed. Right? So if you need, right, we will be happy to do that, right? So we have discussed, because there is a cost related to that, and the whatever the 50% will be able to transfer. Let's say if you are going to get the SL1, so that 50% is available, so you have to only give the remaining, and if you are going for the SL2, the remaining, same like that. So yes, so let's see other question. CL3 law and tax December කරනවා නම් law 25%, tax 25%, ඒක කියලා නැහැ. It's not there. ඒක කියන්න අමාරුයි ඉතින්, because ඒක හින්දාම තමයි මම හිතන්නේ tax 45% දාලා ඇත්තේ, right? Because එහෙනම් ඔයාට එන්නේ එහෙම කියන්න බෑනේ නේ. එතකොට අරගෙන ගන්න ඕනේ ලකුණු කීයද? 55 50න් අඩි කරාම 27.5. එහෙම කියන්න බෑ. එහෙම කියලා නැහැ, right? So entire from the entire paper 50-50. But student, I would say now, as this moment in corporate level, when you see the pass rate, CL4 pass rates higher. But may change එක නිසා මට හිතෙනවා overall pass rate එක නම් අඩුයි කියලා. Why? Because corporate law corporate law එකට වඩා තව දෙයක් තියෙනවා. ඒතර ඔයා දෙකම පුළුවන් වෙන්න ඕනේ මේක කොහොමද pass වෙන්න. මොකද 55 වලින් ඔයාට 50 ගන්න බෑනේ. Right? So because of that, I think pass rates will get down for CL4. Normally then corporate level CL4 තිබුණාට අනිත් subject තුනත් එක්ක බලනකොට අර චලන සර්ගේ results එනකොට මෙහෙම pass rates. අපේ pass rate එහෙම තියෙනවා, චලන සර්ගේ වැඩි. හැබැයි අලුත් syllabus එකෙන් මම හිතන්නේ ඒගොල්ලෝ මේ pass rate උස් match කරන්න තමයි try කරන්නේ with this CL4. So if you have CL4, මම නම් කියන්නේ you do it. Right? And that tax advantage, tax exchange වෙන එකේදී ඒකේ impact එකක් තියෙනවා, but anyway you will learn in strategic level. But strategic level tax you are done කියන්නේ ඔයා ඉතින් ආයි tax ඉගෙන ගන්න නැහැ. So we will be able to do the strategic level without agreement from December onwards. Yes, without agreement means only 1 year only. අවුරුද්දක් තියෙනවා නම් පුළුවන්. CL4 lower completed, yes, tax and දෙකම complete වෙනවා. I have remain only the CL1, it's good to do in June. Yes, of course. If you have only CL1 remain, if you are not doing, or if you get fail, what will happen? You have to do the same auditing subject as well as the corporate capstone. එහෙම එකක් තියෙනවා නම් ඔක්කොම වැඩ දාලා මේක කරන්න, right? So you have to do it. So doing all 4 subjects, yes, you can do all 4 subjects corporate level. We have many students who got through all 4 subjects this time. Results එනකොට අපි surprise හැමෝම වගේ 4ම කරලා. එන්න ගොඩක් ළමයි results එවුවා 4ම කරලා. Commitment එකයි ඕනේ students, right? So now you have kind of a pressure. ඒක නිසාම ඔයා මේකට motivate වෙලා මේ syllabus change එක නිසාම ඔයා 4ම කරලා pass වෙන්න පුළුවන්. දැන් ඔයාට target එකක් තියෙනවනේ මෙතන කරන්න ඕනේ කියන්නේ. Corporate level කරන ළමෙන්න අපි කියන්නේ you attempt all. Whatever the remaining you attempt. So capstone එකෙන් CS4 and CS3 එකට exemption එකක් හම්බෙයිද ඒක දන්නේ නැහැ, right? CS සමහරකට CS7 නැති වෙන්න පුළුවන්. තියෙන්න පුළුවන්. ඒක ගැන ලොකුවටම තාම කියලා නැහැ. Anyway, let's wait till the next week. Maybe we will get some more information. Right. So I have all 4 subjects. What are the best to are? එහෙම අහන්න එපා. Right? Corporate you can ඔයාට තියෙන ඕන දෙයක් කරත හැකියි. මොකක් කරත් අවුලක් නැහැ. මොකක් කරත් ඔයාට exemptions හම්බ වෙනවා. SL1, 2, 3, 4, CS4 and IT3. We have to do the strategic capstone. Yes, correct. Right? CS4, IT3 නැති වුණත් ඒකම තමයි කරන්නේ.
Ashan, a small
Professor,
thing.
do you have any questions?
Yeah, small thing. The training 1 year, now that has come down from 2 years to 1 year. It has come down, but the sometime it's not very clear. The further information need to come from CA whether you need to have a valid, ongoing training agreement now. That is, they're not mentioned properly. So as of now, one only Ashan sir mentioned 1 year completion. You can do the strategic level. There is no, that's clear. But Sri Lanka may or may not, that's not sure, but we'll wait for the information whether you need to have a valid training agreement, I mean, ongoing training agreement or not, or suspended training agreement or not, like currently what is there. So that is not notified, nor it's silent. So therefore, we will wait for the further information. But at the moment, 1 year is the requirement for you to do the strategic level. Right? Over to you, Hassan, sir.
Right. So student, I think මේ අනිත් ඒවා ඔක්කොම මේ වගේ similar ඒවා. So let's do like this. You put these questions in the Telegram group. Right? එකම question එක හැම එකෙම දාන්න එපා. ඔයාලට තේරෙනවනේ related subject එකක් තියෙනවද කියලා. Right? ඒක දාන්න. එහෙම නැත්නම් අපේ වෙන group එකක දාන්න. ඔයාගේ common ප්‍රශ්නයක් තියෙනවනේ. ඒ ප්‍රශ්නයක් නැහැ දාන්න. Right? එක්කෝ මගේ group එකේ චාලන සර්ගෙන් අහන්න එපා common ප්‍රශ්න. මොකද මේ මොකද චමත්සයි විපුලසයිමයි පොඩ්ඩක් ඊට වඩා මේක ගැන පොඩ්ඩ මේක ඩීප් ඉන්නවනේ. ඒක නිසා චලන සර්ගේ group එකේ වා CL4 related ඒවා තිබුණොත් දාන්න. right? but other questions හැබැයි එකම copy කරලා ඉතින් විපුල සර්ගෙනුත් අහන්න මගෙත් අහන්න චමත් සර්ගෙන් අහන්න එපා. එකක දාන්න. right? බෙදලා දාන්න හොඳේ. මට විතරක් ඔක්කොම load එක දෙන්න එපා. දාන්න. ඊට පස්සේ අපි answers දෙන්න. we will give you answers. right? Okay, and also student, for the especially for the our subjects, we are targeting to do some additional live sessions this time. Why? Because I know this is critical. This is critical for you to get through, and we will also put some I mean commitment more than what we have done in the last few exams. අපි දාලා තියෙන commitment එක හොඳට පාස් වෙලා තියෙනවා, but still we will do some more for this batch. Why? Because we also want to pass you, right? ඒක නිසා ඒ studies කරගෙන යන risk එකක් ගන්න එපා. Don't get a risk this time. මේ වෙලාවේ risk එකක් අරගෙන නිකන් එහෙම කරන්න එපා. හරියට මහන්සි වෙලා commitment එක දාලා කරන්න. So if you have any other questions, please ask from the group, and we have done this session to give you information, students. So thank you for joining, and I know that definitely you will get through whatever the remaining subject. Even in the new syllabus, this will be a game changer, and you will be highlighted as a chartered accountant who is trusted, strategist, and also a storyteller. So that demand will definitely increase for our profession, my profession, Chamat sir's profession, Vipula sir's profession, and also your profession. So thank you again for joining, and if you have any other question, please ask in our related Telegram groups, either in corporate level or strategic level. So thanks again, and wish you all the best to become a chartered accountant and fulfill your dreams soon.